it down a little. Hello, everybody. Hello and hi and how are you? Happy holidays, etc. I decided to switch from the ribbon chair. Here, let me just straighten that out. To my tall chair, the big boy chair is what I like to call it. Yeah, I know it's a different setup. Oh, we got a nice little fire going here. I got the dead bell, the cat toy, and of course my REM pod. Wanted to wish you all a very happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and of course in a little under 2 weeks it'll be Happy New Year. So I just wanted to send you all my best. I'm going to try to see if I can get this. Where, this way? All right, that way. You can just, what do you want me to? All right, some kind of gosh darn ghost director. I got Cecil B. DeMille here in the background giving me freaking directions. Is that better, Cecil? He says, no, it's not even. Oh, God. Deal with a ghost and you wonder what the hell happens next. Is that better, Cecil? Because you got this, you got this, you got this in frame. That's good, right, Cecil? Cecil, what do you want from my collar? He says, your collar's not straight. All right, Cecil, thank you. Oh, God, Cecil. Oh. He says, I want the black to accent your, all right. Whatever. Oh, look who's coming. That was me. I hit that. That's all me. Tonight we've got some special fun. We're only going to be on for an hour. If I turn this direction, it's only to see, oh, joy. I'm sorry, to see what I just missed. My Los Angeles Clippers, goddamn Chargers. Yes, they're both from goddamn San Diego in origin. The San Diego Clippers and the San Diego Chargers, and now they're LA. Yes. All right, good. Thank you. Yeah, they're beating Denver, and they were losing by 10 or 12 points to end the half. The first half, that is. Hey, Sam, how are you? Samantha's here somewhere. She's hanging out. Let's see what we got. Kim Sullivan, Concerned Planet. I like how Concerned Planet. Nothing. I'm just pulling some shit. I find that very amusing. Hi, Ghost Rhymes. Let's go back to the top. Now, if you can get him to come back, get Omar also, you can serve some of that yummy cake. I see that some of you saw the live from Monday night with Scott on tape here at the house. And yes, that cake is still sitting in the freezer now. And it's going on a little over 3 years since Omar Gosh brought it here. And I promised Omar, I said, he goes, well, you can eat it. It's like, Omar, I know how much you paid for that cake. Are you crazy? I said, that's an expensive little endeavor. I said, that's not a cake at $500 with gold leaf and stuff from that famous bakery. I said, that's a prop. And you don't waste $500 on a cake. Just let's eat it. So I literally have left it in the freezer. And now it's freeze dried. So there's a thick chocolate type of a shell in the shape of a cake. And if you were to put your finger or take a knife and cut into that cake, you'd have a thing that looked like a sponge, a nice dark chocolate brown sponge. And instead of a cake, it would be a brick. So it'd be a round brick and flat. And this would be the height of it when the exterior is probably about that much more. So that's what Concerned Planet is referring to. I find that very amusing too, Concerned. Very funny, very funny. Hi, Sue. Merry Christmas to you. Sarah, of course, hello. Oh, come on. Let me read everybody's comments. Kathy, hello. Matt, hey, Matt, how are you? Yes. It's not windy. No, Matt, it's not windy tonight, thank God. It's actually probably about 70 degrees. And the past couple of days here in LA, it's been like high 70s, low 80s. At night, it drops down to like 50s, like about 55 or something. But hey, PJ, but to have the fire was really because A, you guys like it. B, usually when I'm freezing my ass off, it works. Right now, I'm boiling my ass off. It's so hot. But again, it's the end of the year. It's the season. And for those of you that are in the East Coast or in the Midwest or wherever you are, where it's cold and chilly, I figured this. What this? Wait, where's that? There that is. Come here, come on. This makes it much more. The magic of Hollywood. gas assist. It makes you feel much more, it brings in the Yuletide feel. And I think that's important because, you know, it is the time of year when you guys are freezing, and a nice warm fire gives you a sense of feel, a good feeling, you know. And tonight, because it is the end of the year, I've got a couple of presents for you guys. I'm going to share for you, or with you, I shouldn't share for you, but with you, one of the books out of this collection. And this collection, which you can't really see, but you should be looking at these caricatures, is from reacharoundbooks.com. I want to give them a big shout out. I want you guys to go to Reach Around Books and get some of their books. I promised them years ago that I would help promote them if I got a TV show, and we haven't as of yet. But I'm going to share with you, and we'll choose randomly one of the 5 books that are in that collection. Now, I will show you, and this is not for the faint of heart. First of all, here's our first choice. That's right, Susie likes to look at balls. This is number 2, which you all know, or no, if you're an Instagram referral, you'll know this because this was the cover of my photo promoting tonight's show. Come swing with us. Oh my, here's another gem from them. Now again, one of these I will read to you guys here. Spank the monkey lends a hand. I'm sorry. No, I think we can end with that one. Yes, this is the next one, which is Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. And last, but far from not least, the first book I read from them and that got me hooked on their books was Put Tony's Nuts in Your Mouth. And that's not all. Of course, we will read an excerpt from More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. What the fuck? And of course, I'll read from my own little book, Ghosts of Cielo Drive. I think I have like 3 copies left. I would have had 4, except when I wrote the last inscription to the last person, I got messy and I said, I can't send this out. This isn't representative of me. And I put it on the table and I got it over. Got it over where? Got it over here. That's right. I will not let a book of mine go out with scrawl. I just won't do it. I got some kind of standards up about here when everybody else has got them way up here. I'm just kidding. I just wouldn't let that go because I feel you guys deserve the best. And God, I'm frying here, kids. I'm literally feet from this freaking flame here, and I'm not kidding. I mean, look, if I put my hand another inch, I'll be in the flames. But I also wanted to do another little something and read from another piece of work. Fiction, complete fiction, mind you. This book. That's right. We're going to read an excerpt from his book about me, since he decided to dedicate 3.5 pages or a half a chapter, 7 pages per chapter. Okay. 3.5 pages of his book about me, because I figured you guys would get a kick and a half out of it. And to start the evening off, and by the way, I want to show you that these pieces of equipment are actually turned on. There's your REM pod. Damn it. And I'll turn this on, turn this off, and now it's set and it's on. What I want to open the evening with. And I'm sorry, I have not been reading your comments, so I apologize. God damn. I'm trying to be more professional and less interactive when my eyes are buried into the gosh darn commentary. Let's see. Wait. Don't go so fast. It's freezing outside. Hi, Natalie. I'm sorry. It's cold. Jeff, nice to see you. Natalie, concerned. Natalie, Ghost. Mina. Hi, Mina. What does this say? It says, I've never heard you laugh as hard as you did when when Scott comes over, it's like we're long lost brothers from another mother. I just have the most enjoyable time hanging out with him. Classic. I really enjoy hanging out with him. He's a hoot. And there's just some kind of like camaraderie that we share and some kind of symbiotic craziness that we just, we basically, push each other, we push each other's buttons, but the right buttons. So we know what, we have a pretty good idea, organically speaking, of when we're going to do something like, and I don't know where this was in the video, but I remember I did this. There was a capital letter E. That was a plastic letter that was in black, and I had it. That was from one of the, so I forgot where it came from. Oh, it came from the marquee that somebody got me, and we had the marquee, and it was a movie marquee. It said "House at the End of the Drive," and so the E came out. So I found it, and I put it in my palm like this, like palm. I said, "Hey, you want some E?" He just about lost it, and it's just there's just a certain amount of creativity that we bounces off one another. And it's just organic and funny and interesting. And we know that we're joshing, but sometimes we get a little rough and gruff with each other in our conversations. And it's pure comedy gold. Hey, Doofy. Sam, leave her alone. Reggie, stop playing intermediary. I'm sorry. I got a dog here on the sofa. I got one cat trying to screw one cat. I have Samantha, my black cat, messing around with my black and white cat, Domino, and it's like, hey, I'm on. The three of you, bug off. This isn't time to play mess around when Dad's on live. You got that? Sam, hey, Sam, cut it. I see that. Don't you stalk your sister. Domino, it's okay. Reggie, stop scoping the gosh darn table for scraps. Got a freaking menagerie in here. And believe it or not, a year and a half ago, I had 4 cats and 2 dogs. So you can imagine it was double the insanity when I was doing my lives. In any event, yes, let's see, Jeff Sample, I did. I'm freezing. Dana Brooks. Hey, Dana. Yeah, it's Dana. You finally got your telephone. You're not using your son's. Joy and Joey, Paraphiles. Hi, Joy. Hi, Joey. Happy holidays. Concern playing. Too much excellent. No, sweetheart. Oh, the excellent choices. Yes. As I said, we were going to have, it'll be a mixed bag this evening. Let me catch up with everybody. It looks like John Waters Book Club. Thanks a lot. That's classic. I love your good-natured laughing soul. Nothing scary about that. You don't know me very well to say that. Sally, Dick, and Jane. Natalie. These are not those, well, you'll see. Reggie. That's you making the gosh darn banging sound. Would you please find yourself on the couch? Go, get on the couch. No, Ray. Get on the couch. On the couch. Get on the couch. If you start skulking, I swear to God, I don't want to deal with this right now. It's not the time. You mentioned before you didn't know Adam, the Woo. He's collaborated with Scott and Broom Life Collective many times. He's a good dude. Matt, there's a lot of social media influencers I don't know and have never met. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure I'll meet him at some point, hopefully. But hey, Sandy. Hi, Douglas. Let's see. Moonlight Dancer. Hi. Don't zack up. No, it's don't. What did this shirt say? I have a shirt that says don't. It doesn't say don't zack up. Forget it. They're not going to go there. I'll have to find that. Andy Sizemore, funniest part last night was when Scott Tate offered him $5,000 to eat a 2-year-old cake. That was a funny live. I mean, now we've got it on as a regular video, so you can watch it if you guys want. It's about 40 minutes long. It is pure comedy gold. And what's even funnier is before Scott got here, my friend who was staying here overnight with her in the 3rd level guest bedroom, the spirits she just brings them out. And when she went downstairs, the lights started flickering as usual. Then when she went upstairs, you heard a man's voice or a woman's voice whisper and say, "Hi, Dave." I'm like, say, "Oh, hold it. Cut it. Don't you do that to your sister. Samantha." Sorry, I was distracted. I was talking about whispers, and I hear this. I look over there, and what is it? Domino, the black cat, on top of one of the chairs at the dining room table. And Samantha, the black cat, correction, Domino, the black and white cat. And Samantha, the black cat, literally 3 feet away, like stalking her, like walking by. And as she's walking, her head is turning the other cat straight in the eye. And I'm like, don't even start. I can't see, you can't do the Godfather routine with a silent and deadly look. You know why? You're dealing with a cat. Good luck with a cat giving a rat's ass and you're staring it down. So you have to get a little acoustic and a little boisterous and a little loud to get their attention, to basically break the circuitry in their head to stop that moment of, I'm going to be aggressive. It's like you cut the crap and they go, what the hell's that? But if you look at him, it's like, what do I care? You're looking at me. That doesn't distract me enough to stop my impulses from attacking my little sister, in spite of the fact that they're just playing. Because Domino doesn't believe in play. She believes in live or die. Samantha just wants to mess around with her. But Domino's like, don't you mess with me. I'll kick your ass. I'll kill you. You mess with me. So that's why. I mean, it's the approach of the two cats. Mind you, the two of them have lived together for 8 freaking years. You wonder why the hell, what I said, it's like, you're not getting any younger, the two of you. Better learn. There's only 2 of you left in the house now. The other 2 have passed away over the past year and a half. Oh, you're right. Sorry, not year and a half, 4 years. The other cat, Tommy, died. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, Saturday will be his 4-year anniversary since he passed. But in any event, it's just, you know, it's hard to figure out what and why these animals do the thing they do. Don't zack up the paranormal is what the shirt said, Sharon just said. Don't zack up the paranormal, Fidel. That's what it was. Don't zack up. Happy birthday, Jeremy. Thank you, Fidel. Don't ever let Zach bag. I can't. Don't ever Zach baganify yourself is what they're trying to say. Good evening, David. Well, who are the 2 boneheads behind you? Oh, well, the one with the hat, which is an Australian outdoors bush hat, is Bob, and that's Jeff. So tonight it's Jeff and Bob. So that's who that is, Jake. So look, let's get this show rolling since we are already into it in 18 minutes. And I'm going to not read comments for at least 10 minutes because, God, if I keep on doing this and this, you're going to see the top of my freaking forehead and the top of my head. That's not entertaining. And you don't just want to hear me. Otherwise, you'd be listening to a fucking radio. And I don't think it's 1930. So when there's no TV is what I'm saying. What I wanted to really show you was a special little something that was given to me. God damn, maybe 15 or 16 years ago. And no, this isn't one of these books that I just showed you with the McGuffey readers and stuff. This is the real deal. Now, all right, let me show you. You see this? Now, no. This has nothing to do with those books. This has to do with the one and only angel, Sharon Tate. The story goes like this. I was trolling on eBay looking for an autograph of Sharon Tate's. Probably about 2007 or 8. All right, so then it is. It's like 16 years ago. And I'm looking, and all these numbers like 5,000, 4,000, 6,000, and I found this book. And I mean, now here's what the kicker is. This is the book. Let me show you. Just give me a second. There's also more to it than that. But it says the autograph of Sharon Tate on this book. And I'll bring it close to you so you'll see it. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to arrange my whatchamacallit. Now, there you go. Here, I'll make it see. Shit, listen, let me get up and look and show you right here. Not that one. Which one? It's this one. Can you all see that? It's the front page, the back of the front cover. And I see this and I said, I can't be, without questioning people. I'm always like the fourth child at the Passover table. It goes, I have to know why. So I wrote the woman and I said, excuse me, but I saw your listing and I'm kind of curious. I said, why do you think, I said, I have difficulty comprehending why it is that Sharon Tate would have signed the book to her little sister, Patty, the youngest sister of the three sisters, Patty, Deborah, and Sharon. Her name's Sharon Tate. And the woman writes back to me and she goes, well, she said, we ended up getting a bunch of these books and basically it came out, we believe this to be hers. And there's other memorabilia, other pieces of personal belongings to Sharon that we also got from which this lot came from. And I said, well, I'm very curious. I said, I live down the street from where Sharon was killed, and my house has been on several TV shows. And I said to her, I'm really curious. Can you tell me more? It was like putting a key in a lock and opening up a door to Pandora's box. And what I mean is that she writes me back and she goes, I know who you are. I've seen you on those two TV shows, blah, blah, blah. Now this is Ghost Hunters, and this is probably my ghost story, my ghost story and the movie, the show I did. So I'm sitting there talking, emailing, writing this, I'm reading this, and she goes, I think I want you to have this. Now, mind you, she was offering it for a couple, like a starting bid was $1,000 and was going to go up, I figured. So I said, oh my gosh, she goes, I really, really strongly believe that this belongs to you and I want you to have it. So I said, give me it. So we got it. And I talked to her on the phone. She goes, no, David. She goes, I'll tell you the story. She goes, excuse me, 1 second. My husband and I went to one of those storage, locker sales and storage unit sales. And we bought this storage unit. And she said, in this box that was about 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5, she says, we had 5 different books of this maker kind, these McGuffey readers, these little, early readers, prime readers. Here it is. Rand McNally Tip Top Elf books. You have Twilight Tales, Little Skater, Little Ballerina, and these are different books, just like this is my counting book. And she said each one of them had similar inscriptions to Patty from Sharon Tate. And I said, oh my God. She goes, and that's not all that was in there. I said, what? She says there's a sequin, get this. She said, how did she describe it? I want to get this correct. A sequin nightgown that's beautiful. Wow. Which is stunning. And I forgot the name of the famous designer, she said, that had made it, and it was custom made. And she says in the back, it had back in the 60s and in the 50s, they used to have what was called like a personal label that was basically attached in your shirt or your jacket, your clothes, and it had her name on it. She goes, and it said Sharon Tate. She goes, also was this, as she describes, about an 8-inch clutch, matching sequin clutch. And it was silver sequins. Thanks, Sharon. It was silver sequins, and it was this clutch, and inside it said property of Sharon Tate. So it was a custom what do you call it, evening dress, and the clutch. And she said, we believe this all to be Sharon Tate's, the Sharon Tate. I'm like, well, so we're not done. She sends me the book. I'm sitting right over there at the dining room table, and I do this. I open up the book, and like this, out flutters a note. Where the fuck is that note? Oh, thank you, sorry. Where the hell is that note? And on the ground flutters, and mind you, right now, this isn't a plastic sleeve. This note falls like this. It doesn't go, it goes like this, almost like in a movie. And I'm like looking, I was like, what the hell? And I'll never forget, it just goes into the ground. And I pick it up. And I can do 2 things. I can A, read it to you and show it to you, or show it to you and read it to you. All right, fine. I'll show it to them first. Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. I don't know if you can read that because I know this stupid camera doesn't do well on close-ups. But here's the kick. Stop. Will you just give it to them so they can see that? No, I'm not taking it out of the sleeve, Sharon. I'm not doing that. And I know it's hard for you to read, to see it, so I will read it. It says, Dearest Mother, tell Patty that I'm sorry to miss the celebration. I should be back early week. Deborah and I need to have a talk when I get home. She's getting too big for her britches. We'll call, I am sure, before this arrives. Missing home, ! Love, Sharon Tate. And I was like, ho, 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 ho. And mind you, this is a 6-inch by 4-inch plastic sleeve. So this is probably on a 3-inch by 5-inch piece of lined paper. It was blowing my gosh darn mind. It wasn't like on the top. It was somewhere in the middle. I don't know. She knew it was. I almost can't. I'm almost going to have to say this. I can't imagine that she hadn't seen this note in this book, or that the note was in one of the other books, and she wanted me, and she put it into the book for me to have. But it's strange as hell. Also in there, I have to mention this since Scott Michaels gave this to me. This is from Scott Michaels' collection. I don't know if you can see it. It says Helter Skelter. It's got a picture of Manson and Sharon Tate. And it's basically, it has a little note, and it's a piece of a piece of brick from the original Sharon Tate fireplace in that house. And I have that in there. So, I told you it was going to be a very special night. And I told you I wasn't going to, was going to give you guys some good stuff. And spirits, oh God, I'm so rude. Thank you for ringing the bell twice now. I really appreciate it. And happy holidays to you all. Wherever you are, well, excuse me, I know where you are, you're here. But thank you very much for showing and being here for the audience and my friends and my guests. And you are my guests and you are my family. Let's be honest. Come on. I can't say and do anything without acknowledging your presence and saying thank you and being humbled by your presence here tonight. You're all great. And you're all very well. And without any doubt, you are welcome here. All right. Let me catch up with some of the people's commentaries tonight. And yes, we're going to read, like I said, I'm going to read some of the books. So you guys, it'll be a fun night. I promise you. I will not disappoint anyone. And I only hope to God that Scott is watching this right now. I wish he'd call and say, Dave, what the hell are you doing? Put me on speakerphone. Oh, God. How are Bonnie and Clyde? I changed the names. Bonnie and Clyde just decided they didn't like those names, so I changed them to Jack and Jim. What, Jim and Jack, whatever, Jack and Bob. You're dressed like Tony Montana. Is that so? You think I look like Tony Montana? He looks like me. I don't look like him. I'm the original. He looks like me. You know what I mean? I gotta practice my Tony Montana. But that's so. You think you're better than me? I'll tell you what you're better than. Pinche formado. Feo! Puta. Vámonos. What do you think you're doing? You think you're better than me? You're not better than me. I worked in the goddamn slift, in the shits, in the dish, down in Tijuana, and before that, I came across the goddamn fucking valley, and I got up into Guadalajara. I come from goddamn Tijuana, my ass. I come from goddamn El Salvador, you stupid bitch. Don't give me no shit. Oh, yeah? Kiss my ass, you gringo piece of shit. I'll tell you what the hell you got. You ain't got a fucking suit like this, you piece of shit. Oh, yeah? Bangame. Oh, Ren, you're so nice. Tony Montana. Hello, Virginia. Ah, we have a nice crowd watching tonight. Yes, the little golden books. You know it. Spirits are active. Yes, they are. In the 60s, Halston. I was just, when I read the word Halston, I was thinking, it's like, and Sharon says, that's who the hell made that suit, made my dress was Halston. And then that went, boy. Poochie, just to name it. No, it was Halston, as a matter of fact. Halston or, no, it wasn't Bill Glass. No, it was Halston. It was Halston. Hi, Nancy. Cozy, it's hot as hell. Honestly, if I'm not bleeding sweat right now, because it's like, oh, so hot. I'm only doing this for you guys, by the way. I really don't need the heat. Oh, well, there you go. There's no heat. It's just glowing. Devin Johnson's got to but Zach Baggins. Yeah, I know. I've heard it's on display in a beautiful case, and right next to it happens to be the blood and ash portrait made with Charles Manson's blood and his ashes. To me, that is just the ultimate in disrespect and just an insult to the memory of Sharon Tate. To literally display the image of Sharon Tate in her finest moment in her life, which was getting married, and then juxtaposed to that, across from it, is this famed piece of crap blood ash portrait of the guy that put her in the ground. Am I missing something here, or am I just like, is this just a bridge too far that I'm reaching for? Or am I right on the mark and the money, like a hammer hitting a nail right on the head, square as the hell? I swear. I mean, And he says Edith Head was no, it wasn't Edith Head. No, it was what Halston. It was a Halston dress. It was beautiful. Hi, movie star. Nice to see you. You No, Ren. I'm not a part of her story. I'm just some guy who is expressing my eternal appreciation for those that perished down the street from me. That's it. I derive no sense of fame out of that, and I don't care to. Look, I'm just some guy that lives in a haunted house, and it just so happens that she's one of the most notable spirits that has visited here. And I feel more like a friend who just wants people to know that she, Jay Sebring, Abigail Folger, Wojtek Frykowski, and Jay Sebring, and her unborn son Paul deserved a hell of a lot better shake than that I've personally been witness to over the past 55 years since she died. That's all I am. I never, ever will, how should we say, take any claim of fame because of Sharon. And I don't want to. I stand on my own 2 feet in that regard. If I have any kind of success, it's certainly it's not by using her as and their tragic ends to benefit in any way. Yeah, you don't get it. When we first started doing the investigations, we all thought it was Sharon. But I have come to realize after the past 22 years of living here that this place is far more as if almost to make a point to acknowledge what I'm saying is fact and truth, that goes off to give you the exclamation point. There are tons of spirits here, as it was told to me by Marianne Winkowski, the real-life ghost whisperer. This house is a ghost hotel, for lack of better words. Tons of spirits come in and tons of spirits go out, and it's a constant flow of energy that's coming in and out of this house, and it's well far beyond those poor souls that passed away and tragically at the end of the driveway from where I live. And personally, that is fine by me. And what I mean by that is, just to clarify that, and I'm not being arrogant, I mean, that's okay that the house is visited by multiple different spirits and personalities. And it's not something that I'm afraid of. I'm sorry. I'll go down to my grave knowing that you have nothing to fear about spirits. And they're not demons either, they said either. Yeah, I got that. Look, 22 years I've lived here. Excuse me, how many scratches do you think I have? Oh, well, let me. How many scratches have I ever endeavored from or incurred from spirits? Yes, I've been scratched, but that's either by cats or girlfriends. But it ain't, or the dog. Yeah, okay, but that's not from the spirits. I have had absolutely, positively zero, zip zilch, ill effects of living here from spirits again. The living, man, some heartbreak, some headache, some pain in the ass but that's in life in general, so long as you're alive. The spirits are not in any way, shape, or form bothersome, impinging, and impugning upon my life. They're not the problems. In any event, let me just catch up. What did we have? The spirits, Audra said. Good to see you. Very cool. Audra. Hi, Audra. Hi, Shirley. How are you? Thank you very much. You know why? Because I'm sitting there getting dressed and thinking, what the hell nice? It's the goddamn holidays. The T-shirt crap, you can't end the year looking like that. That is assuming I don't do another show around New Year's, before New Year's. And I said, something struck me and said, Dave, dress nice. It's Christmas. You should look good. You should put a watch on, even if it doesn't work, which it doesn't. Shut up! Don't give me gosh darn whispers in the ears of what to say. I wouldn't have said that, but you had to add it. Oh, God. And I was decided, I was going to pull out my old raw linen, this raw silk jacket that's not even mine. It's actually somebody who's passed away. So I guess you might say this might be even a haunted jacket, except for the fact that it's my father's jacket, and I always loved it. And originally, as a matter of fact, if you notice, you see this paisley pattern? This is probably from 1964. So this is like almost, it is a 60-year-old jacket. And what's funny is it used to be a Nehru jacket. Literally, it used to sit like this. The collar was this. It had which was the Indian. In India, they had a Nehru jacket, which was like this. So the jacket actually looked like this. So it's like, very nice to meet you, Mr. Ullman. So my dad had it changed to a collared jacket because he said Nehru's out. And obviously after he passed away, I ended up taking it and keeping it myself, and I love it. It's craftsmanship personified, and you don't see this stuff in modern day clothes because it's so well constructed. It was made to last. Something of decades gone by, which unfortunately us in America present day don't really know much about. Because everything is made with a built-in failure time, a time clock, meaning that everything that we buy present day is built to fail, so that you can buy a new one in 2 years when this one breaks. Same with clothes; they're not just constructed to last. You know why? Because you're going to buy new clothes when the old stuff wears out. This 60-year-old jacket is still going strong and looks terrific, if I do say myself. In any event, De Niro, Fidel. Oh, no, I'm not doing, no, we're not. Listen here, no, that's not De Niro. That's Marlon Brando from the Godfather. Fidel. Let it go. It's okay. It's all right. We'll take care of it. De Niro, my God, you're too funny. Can I hit the wrong button? No. Hi, Dan. Well, Zach has never had good taste and common sense. Some cannibals I know would say he probably doesn't taste good either. Whoa. Where's Ren? Okay, I understand. Definitely keep her name out there, but nothing but love and respect. Yes, Ren, exactly. These bells are freaking great. Joy, thank you again. I want to say thank you again because I wouldn't spend this money to buy myself this toy. But thanks to some friends of mine, Joy and Joey, parent at the I want to get this right, Joy, so I want to read this correctly. For the Paraphiles, gave this to me as a gift because when they came over and we were doing a little investigation, this toy, this machine, this device was actually going off, and I was like, ay, 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 and she could see it and hear it in my voice and my eyes that I was smitten to bitten. I was bitten and smitten with this device. And she goes, all right, we're going to get it for you as a gift. And she didn't tell me. She got it as a gift the next time. So I was like, this is for you. We're having you send it to you. It's like going, oh my God, Joy. So again, thank you very much. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you too, Joy. No, as Mike Troiano said, who's been here several times, he never felt anything threatening or evil. That's the truth. Well, yeah, thank you, Audrey. I'd have to agree with you on that. You're right about that. Absolutely. I am very welcoming, obviously. Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Do you think the spirits in the house because they're welcome? Yeah, I think they're welcome. I'd have to say they'd have to be welcome. These guys are figuring. Chad Lindbergh. I'm sorry, that's a name I haven't heard for many a year. Haven't heard his name in long, like I said. Chad, I met, God, how many years ago is it now? 14? Maybe 2010? Jesus Christ, it has to be around 2010 because, oh, God, that's right. I went to a Paracon up in, where the hell? Santa Paula. Thank you. At the Santa Paula Inn a bunch of years ago. I met, let's see, Sophia Temporelli was there, and, oh, God, I'm coming up blank. The EVP specialist that worked on Ghost Adventures with Zach on a couple of episodes. No, that's not them, not them, not them. A husband and wife team, and I'm drawing a complete blank on their names. And you guys will all know them because he tragically, they were getting divorced. This was a number of years ago, got to be close to 10 years ago. I keep on hearing their name. I'm sorry I'm stopping because I'm hearing the voice tell me the name and I'm trying to focus in on it as we're speaking to you. God. And I hate this because the story that I'm about to tell you is just absolutely heartbreaking. They were getting divorced. She moved out, moved in with a roommate. The husband went to the house, shot her in the head, killed her roommate, and then turned the gun on himself and blew his brains out. And they were really good people. They were really very, very good friends of mine. They had stayed here a few times for a day or two overnight. Mark, yes, come on. Oh, God. Mark Constantino and Debbie Constantino. I told you to come through. They never, ever, ever let me down. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Debbie, and Merry Christmas, Mark. And trying to catch up what we were saying. So I met them there, and I also met, of course, Jason Gates from the Haunted Collector. And you remember Jason? He was a really cool guy, and on there we became very, very good friends at that event. And he introduced me to Chad, and I said, that's great, Jason. He goes, well, Chad doesn't want to say this to you, but he's kind of scared of you in your house. I'm like, well, I said, well, if he wants to come to the house, no, he doesn't want to go to your house. He's really just doesn't feel. And I, said, okay, fine. If you heard of Jason, I said, Jason said to me like a year or two later, he goes, well, Chad wants to see your house. And I said, something, it's off the table. I said, there's one thing I don't like to do. I don't like to invite somebody that off the bat tells me they're scared and comes up with all this dogma about the house being this. And it's like, look, that's okay. I'll make it really easy for him. Say, it doesn't have to come. It's okay. Don't worry. I won't ever ask again. But the point is, when I say that, unlike many people across the world, I mean what I say. So I didn't invite him back. And it was like, he once kind of said, I'm sorry, he had his chance. He decided not to. He was very clear about what he communicated, and that's okay. But once the door is shut, that's locked. That person's not coming in. And never has, never will. So that's why I was thinking that's so funny. He's part of the paranormal group G Crew with Nick Groff. Also played Jesse in The Fast and the Furious. Hector, okay. Vila old school. Yeah, I'm just definitely stars. Thank you, Otter. Appreciate that. Ding, Ren, very funny. Hey, Dave, nice to see you. Maria Haunted Hellcat Stones Toasters. Hi, Maria. So I had to read your whole thing to get to the point where the comment was. Do they have any more? Yes, I'm sure they have more bells. It's Ghost Stop Paranormal. If you want to get yourself one of those bad dead bells. Yes. What about Chris Fleming? Mike, what about Chris Fleming? Debbie and Mark Constantino. Who did I say? Yeah, Deb. Yeah. Sorry, I'm catching up to this. Yeah, I remember the story too. Hey, Sable, I don't believe in cutting down an immature pine tree to spend $100 to then spend another $200 to put tinsel and ornaments on and lights, and then a couple of weeks later have to throw it out and basically waste a perfectly good tree. And no, I don't believe in having the fake Christmas tree. Look, it's great and dandy. I just have no desire to have one, this year at least. Yeah, surely you're right. No. The Ghost Adventures team, and I'm talking not about Nick, but Zach, that was exploitation. Okay? He doesn't do anything for anything because it's really about him. It ain't about the other people. He used that incident to make himself be bigger. And I don't want to hear his name mentioned because they're like, Debbie's like saying, no, Zach's not to be discussed. She even is saying it. So, I mean, let's be, yeah, that he falls because he was afraid of what Zach had told him about the house. And I said, look, if he's taking that shit from Baggins and throwing that and projecting that upon me and my house, forget it. It's all bets are off. Just like Mustafa Galaglory badmouthed me before and on this and this. And I went and talked to him. I was on a talk show with him. I said, him and the other guy, I forgot the other son of the, name. And I said, look, if you guys want to come to the house, because I've already heard you say that I'm exploiting this and I'm doing this and this and I'm doing this and this. I said, and my house isn't haunted. I said, look, we're on the podcast. You're listening. I said, so is the whole world. I'll be more than happy right here, right now, to offer you an opportunity to come to the house and see it for yourselves. What's that you say? I can't hear you. Oh, that's because you're not saying anything. Oh, I get it. Crickets is your answer. So when these people have the opportunity to disavow their statements by actually coming here and seeing it firsthand, because it's all spooky spirit BS, and as I like to say, their egos crap speak about the house not being haunted, but when the rubber hits the pavement and they're offered the opportunity to come here and see it and firsthand experience it, they're not taking me up on the offer. So they can be safe and sound and discrediting and trying to decry and, for lack of better words, emulsify me and remove me from any credibility by not coming here. Because if they came here, their fear is they're going to get crapped on like Zach Baggins got crapped on. And most likely, possibly, it could happen. I don't know. I'm not controlling the spirits with the radio control. And I certainly have absolutely positively no whatsoever ability to make them do something that I want them to do or that I don't want them to do. They are completely... As I was about to say, you sons of bitches, could I have said the statement first before you rang the bell? They are completely, without a doubt, and under their own rules and under their own decision making, and I cannot influence, decry, or disturb their desire and their wishes. I have no control over them. They are free entities to do what they want to do, and therefore I can say anything I want. Doesn't mean they're going to listen. And that's the difference. They haven't messed with me because I haven't treated them with lack of respect. And I fear, and my thinking is that these people that are saying nasty things about me and disrespectful things, they step in here. They're going to find out that there's more to the world that they don't know than they think they know. Ah, God, I'm so sorry. God, all these people are, God, let me catch up. Michael and Jessica do a video. David, Michael and Jessica? Who's Michael and Jessica? Oh, your Colin says, yes, Michael and Jessica were here 3 years ago. The first video they shot here has over 1 million views. They then came back and shot another live video here, and it was medianely regarded. It didn't get 1 million views still, but that's 2 years ago. Hi David, what's up? Hi Dominic, how are you? Excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Here's the audio from the Hollywood Paranormal visited your house. Really enjoyed it. I pointed out that I thought I heard a spirit say Reggie. Matt, Hollywood Paranormal hasn't been here in like 6 years now, so that's an older video. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that just out of the blue. Kind of. Everyone has a blessed night. Audra, take care of yourself. Thank you for the information on where to get the bell. I mean, of course, Audra, you know better. I'm always good for that. David, you are one. Dominic, thank you very much for the good wishes, and we appreciate the compliment as well. You'll be getting your gift in the mail, a good 10-pound side of beef from the family. No, not human meat. A nice rib roast, nice big 7-bone, 10-pound that would be like a 15 to 20-pound 7-bone rib roast for you and your family, from our family. You got it? You're good. Thank you for the compliment. And the Godfather says, you gods. Okay, what do we got? Moonlight Dancer says, Zach is such a twat waffle. No, the first time I've actually read somebody say that besides me. You are very good there, Moonlight. I appreciate that. Let's see. I agree with you. The bell, they're I agree with the bell. They are slime. I agree with that. Oh God, Dave, you're too funny. If I was in your house, I made contact like that. If I was in your house, I'd hope. Here's the thing, Matt. Again, I don't have any control of it. It's possible. I know we've had people that have come here and have connected with their friends or whoever, in some way or another, they believe. So yeah, that's very possible. The way see spirits reveal themselves to whomever they trust. The bell rings when you say universal truths, it seems. Ren, I have not a single, all right, let me rephrase that. Ren, I hope that what you're thinking is actually true. And it's a good way to think of it. I'm sorry. I just read Matt's, and I'm not laughing at what Matt wrote. I'm laughing at the fact that Jesus, and as I'm reading what Matt wrote, and I'll read to you what Matt wrote, and then you'll get a better idea of why I find that humorous. Matt wrote, while I'm at work, I like to listen to paranormal podcasts. And I've listened to many different ones that you've been a guest on. And I'm thinking to myself, and just in the amount of podcasts I've done, I've probably done over 100 at least over the past 15, 16 years. And I get a kick out of it. And the funny thing is, Matt, and you can vouch for me on this, I don't just sit there like a record. It's like, or correction, an MP3, and you pop it in. It's like, hi, I'm David Oman. I live in a haunted house, and I live with many spirits. My house is located down the street from the Sharon Tate murders, which took place August 8th into 9th, 1969. And I am the only one. I don't do that. Every show that I've ever done, the information is always consistent, and consistent by the fact that, I mean, the underlying information and the facts never change. It's the way that I deliver the information and the questions that I'm fielding from the podcasters. You know, it's never the same show twice. Just like my podcast. Who the hell knows? It's not like I'm working off of a script. I just ad-lib the whole freaking thing and go with the flow. And it's like, right over here. It's like, where are you going to go? It's like, I know one thing. It's entertaining. It's engaging. It's informative. And it's interesting. And at the end of the day, that's what you guys really want. Something that's different. For lack of better words, it's always different. Whereas I was told when I was in junior high school and they did the list of, the 50 different, they chose 50 different students, or there were 50 students in the class in my sophomore, 8th and 9th grade, whatever. And they said, each one of the kids, they little name, just a one word next to each person, describing them. It got to me, it said unique. And it was supposed to be a slam. Because let's be honest, if you think I'm unique now, can you imagine what the hell it was like when I was in junior high school? Not exactly the square peg or the round peg, but that funny, the star-shaped peg. Not the gosh, not like a star in the sky, but the multi-pointed star type of thing that didn't fit into a square or a hole or a round hole. Just different, unique. And I said, something? I told my mom, she goes, what are you going to do with that? She was like testing, like, how does that make you feel? I said, I looked up the word in the dictionary. I said, something? That applies to me 100%. Different than the rest. And that's something that I really have made my shield. People say, oh, this is like, something? I'm unique. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm not like you, as the old saying goes. So let's just go with that. Dave just go, thank you, Shannon. I find that so amusing. All right, let's get on with the show already. I wasn't supposed to go. Well, I was supposed to go an hour. I was supposed to get going in a minute and 40 seconds. So obviously, that's out. But let's get on with the fun, since that's what we're all here for. This heavy-duty conversation has gotten me into the place where I'd like to free it up and make some humor out of this evening, because, heavy is not my middle name. Rexford is. No. All right, kiddos, let's start with this magic show. All right, kids. Now I've got these 5 copies of this book, of this series. I'm going to do this. You'll see, I won't. My eyes are closed. I can't see shit. So I'm just sitting here randomly pulling through the 5 books and scrolling through back and forth. What? No, just keep going forward. Don't sit there. What? The spirit said, why don't you just go backwards and forwards? Because how do you shuffle if you don't shuffle them in the same direction? If you go back and forth, you're not doing anything. And they said, you're doing anything now? It's like, I'm mixing them up. God, I hate that. All right. Let's do a countdown. 5. And when I get to 0, I'll pull out the last book I have in my hand here. On top will be the book we read from, or read. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it. 0. That's the one. Now let's open our eyes and see what we got. Spank the Monkey Lends a Hand. I don't know. I know the first book that I read from the series was... Oh, wait a second. I'm just curious. What was the last one? No, not Swing. Yes. Either that or that one. No, I think it's got to be... All right, screw it. I know what book I want to read to you. I shouldn't have played a game. The book is Susie Likes to Look at Balls. Isn't that fun? I have to, honestly, I should have known. I should have said, we're just going to read this and start. But I wanted to build it up like we're going to do it random. It's like, no, I know exactly what book I want to read from. The first book I ever read from the series that got me all hooked on these books. This is the first. This is the funniest guy. And yes, I'll show you the pictures. So look, I'm going to read you the book, the page, and I'm going to show you the pictures so your eyes won't get more teary-eyed when you're thinking one thing and it's like, no, this is the image you're looking at, not what you're thinking. With that said, where are we? Hi, Ren. All right. The book's title page says, For Dustin. This is how we're going to do it. Oh, bring it closer. Damn it. Shit. Everybody's a goddamn director in my life. All right. So there you see it says, For Justin. Oh, for Dustin. Just in case is not the same as Justin. All right. Sally likes to look at balls. Wait. There are 34 reach around hidden in the story. Can you find them? Susie likes to look at balls, and if you play a sport, chances are, before too long, she'll take a look at yours. The book she wrote for you and me just to clue you in on all the balls that Susie's seen and where the balls have been. There are 34 reach-arounds in this story. Can you find them all? I kid you not. This I just read was this. No, this, you idiots, this. Oh, you can't? There. So it's saying there's 34 of these in this. Over here? In this. All right. Upward and onward we shall go. Season 1, Book 1. Tiger's balls are small and white, just like Michael Jackson's. These two guys are socialites, and both of them... Really? Can I finish it before you start going off? Come on. I'm in the middle of... From now on, don't interrupt the sentence. It kills the humor. Please? Thank you. These two guys are socialites. They both see lots of action. Hold it. Damn it. Get this right. Yes, and Michael was still alive when this book was written. Tiger puts his balls in holes and keeps them out of sand. Meanwhile, Michael proudly shows his balls to boys at Neverland. All right, I'll open the freaking book for them to see. Hope you're liking this. I'm sorry. I haven't read this in a long time, and this is just how funny this is. Oh, God, the suspense is killing the audience. All right, I'll try to get some composure. I can't seem to focus on this. It's too funny. Oh, God. I can't stand it. I need a little help, spirits. Get me something to focus on in my head so that I can rip this humorous laughter out quick before I do it again. I apologize for this inconvenience. Bruce Jenner ran decathlons, he took Olympic gold. But today, I'm sad to say that he has no balls to hold. I don't know just what went down. He must have lost a bet. Oh, fuck. God, get out of here then. Be a pain. I want them to see this so they can see this because it's hysterical. Oh, God. Bruce's balls are Caitlin's now, and I'm sure he has regrets. Yeah. Pam has soft and bouncy balls, the kind that must be seen. Hugh Hefner knows how all that goes. They're in his magazine. Again, Hefner's alive at the time when this is. All right. Hugh Hefner's balls were big and bold, the finest balls around. Then one day Hugh got old, now his balls drag on the ground. Well, to be honest with you, now his balls are buried on the ground. They ain't dragging anywhere. Serena brings some lovely balls to the tennis scene. She has fuzzy little yellow balls, yellowish and green. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. You should see the picture. I think these balls might just be what make her such a threat. The other girls out on the court haven't got a set. Serena tries to keep them hidden because if they're verified from the women's tennis league, she'll be disqualified. Susie went with Magic Johnson out for some seafood. When she looked at Magic's balls, she really lost the mood. Oops, sorry. Magic, where's your protection? I think it's too late. Your balls are going to spread infection. It's time to end this date. God, I'm losing people. You guys don't find this amusing. I'm sorry. David Beckham thinks his balls look nice, and it seems the world agrees. He showed his balls once to Posh Spice. The rest is history. God, I lost a bunch of viewers. I'm so sorry. Ernie is not all that impressed by what David Beckham's got. He thinks that Spice Girl looks depressed since having tied the knot. Ernie's rented shoes and wrist brace made David laugh out loud. But the eyes lit up on Posh's face when Ernie pulled his ball sack out. Ernie's balls were beautiful and big and hard and round. When he slid his fingers in, Posh made a funny sound. Well, thank you. I'm getting a few more viewers. Ernie rolled those big old balls for a split and then a strike. Now David knows it's Ernie who's got the stuff that ladies like. And that, my friends, is the end of this book. I'm sorry that some of you were offended enough to change the channel. I am sorry. I thought that was an interesting little bill of fare for the adults in the crowd that are here, there, and there. I thought that it would be interesting as hell to say, what a wonderful way to say happy holidays. I sound as if I could be Dr. Seuss, but that is not the case. I'm just as Luffy Moose. I wanted you guys to have some fun and enjoy yourselves and take some time to enjoy the holidays, festivities, as they say. What do we got here? Graduate prophecy. What the hell is this? Let's see. Let's catch up to what we got here. Dave the Goat and Ms. Angel. Hi, Ms. Angel. How Ms. The nuts. No, I'll save the nut. Look, there's only 5 books, so it's not like I'm going to start, doing all of them tonight. And obviously, I lost like 10 people. She goes, more than 10. I'm sorry. God. Yes, the nuts one is, yes, yeah. Matt, good Lord. Matt, yeah, I hope you like that, Matt. Dark version of the first grade sitting on the rug. Teacher reads the. Well, what it works upon is it's double entendre. It's not, salacious, but it's humorous. That's what's funny about it. Shannon, you like that? And Kathy liked that. Ren, what the actual fuck? What? Let me ask you, Ren, you didn't find it amusing and funny? It's adult humor presented in a child's first grade reader. That's what's funny about it. It's hysterical. Thanks, Moonlight. I appreciate that. What can we say? Most great minds think the same, LOL. Thanks, Shannon. I appreciate that. Oh, you like the book, so I'm glad to hear that, Matt. That's always funny. All right. Let's see. All right, it's like a sandwich. I'm going to take a second to read a paragraph or two from this book of Bozo Baggins. I gotta find the right. Okay. Well, I can't exactly read this just one paragraph because if I take the middle paragraph out, it's like, wait, it referenced what was going on in the first paragraph before that. It's like, yeah, I know. I don't want to read the whole fucking thing either. What? Truth and humor. God, concerned. It's a joke. It's not, well, let's not get into it. I'm not going to sit there. Where do you get these books? You get these books, and what is lovely about this is the whole entire, you can buy each individual book. I don't know the price, or you can buy the actual whole box set, which includes all 5 books in this beautiful box set. See, look at this. Enjoy your reach around. Oh, my son of a bitch, God. It's signed by them. I forgot. Oh, my God. Jesus. All right. You can ask them to do it, but it's signed. As like I said, enjoy your reach around, and that's their signature. So, again, it's the full thing. It comes from reacharoundbooks.com. And I'm telling you, www.reach, REACH, AROUNDBOOKS.com. That's right, reacharoundbooks.com. Like I said, it's a great gift. It's a funny gift. It is never. I've had this for, God damn, how many years now? I've probably had this for about close to 10 years now. It's well worth it. It's a great thing to have. They're great. And I'm telling you, this is comedy gold. What do we got here? The books were funny, truth and humor. I know. Very good play on words, but it took me off guard for a minute. I'm sorry, Ren. Hi, Kim. How are you? Ho, ho, ho to you too, Kim. Well, like I said, no, I didn't buy this new. I think I paid $3 at a used bookstore for this. The original price was like $20. No. How much was the original price? Oh, it's not $52. Crackerhead. Here, I'm just curious. He's got his thing. Where's the price? Oh my dear God. $27 US. $26.95 US was the retail suggested retail price. And $32 in Canadian money. And you can see how much I like this book. I actually scribbled in it like I was a third grader. Nothing like getting back at somebody that you can't stand by writing in their book and getting it for less than a tenth, a little less than about an eighth of the price. In any event, let me catch up. All right. I'll read a little excerpt from this and then I'll go on. The whole time we're looking for spirits in the nooks and crannies of a place, the spirit may actually be found in a person who lives there. Many spirits just want their physical bodies back after all. They want to smoke a cigarette, eat a pancake. Like hell, I hate pancakes. Lay out by the pool. Yeah, right. What pool? You have to have one to do that, dumbass. And feel the wind on their face or the touch of a loved one. I really can't read this. I'm getting nauseous just reading this because it's such god-awful garbage. Forget it. I'm not reading this. Sharon's like, no, you don't need to read that. No one needs to read that. No one needs to hear that because it's crap. And just even, I'll tell you in a nutshell what he says. He says that every place he's gone to, it's usually the place the place is haunted. But he goes, most of those places when he came here, he couldn't understand because no one died here. And because unlike at Fox Willow Farms, where somebody was murdered, this and that, there was no such murder here at the house. I mean, this is how many times I've read this crap to people, and it's like I can regurgitate it like that. Then he goes on to say, and you can quote me if you don't believe me, go get the copy of the book and see it for yourself, that he says that when I was around David, I always had these weird, it was just strange stuff was happening, like as if he knew that when the figurines wouldn't fall over. And that's an absolute pathological, diametrically opposed to the truth, freaking lie. What happened was when they were shooting the show, the Ghost Adventures show, I pointed out the figurines and said they get knocked down by themselves. He was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, all the time. I said, there's no explanation for it. And I went and pounded the top of the aquarium and jumped up and down. Nothing happened. And then 5 minutes later, one of the figurines went plop down. This is before we started shooting the show. So they were like, oh my God. I said, yeah, it's no big deal. And I'm like, thank you. That's the time to say things, to confirm my point. Good timing, right on the money. So I said to them, I said, yeah, it happens a lot of times. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just part and parcel. And they're like, and I said, yeah, okay, so much for the professional side of Ghost Adventures. And when I left the house, I went outside and I said, whatever happens, happens. But he was like, I said, after the fact, the figurine got fall over. He turns it around and his working mind works ass backwards. Because when somebody says to me, at least I believe that he doesn't get it. When somebody says, there's the figurine, it's going to, they get knocked over and then it gets knocked over. It's like, well, you knew what was going to happen. It's like, no, I'm just telling you the facts of the house. If it happened that it gets knocked over shortly thereafter, it's not like I'm predicting that it's being knocked over on this moment, on this time of my clock. He then goes on to say that I was prone to outbursts. And it's like, well, I got upset when you guys took your Pelican case and one of your large Pelican cases with your equipment and one of your, one of your production assistants took it and whacked it into the wall and left about, it's about a 3-inch long by about a good half an inch to 3/4 of an inch by about a good half an inch deep gash into the wall. I said, it's not just a wall. That portion of the wall that you smashed your gosh darn Pelican case into corner happens to be my 220-inch wall that is the screen for the projector. I said, that's going to cost some money, a couple bucks to fix. I said, it is painted with a special type of high-density reflective screen paint that costs $200 for a gallon or $75 for a quart. I don't have any. I used the last coats of that paint to paint the screen, and I'm going to have to now get somebody to come out here and patch that in the thing and then paint the entire screen. Because if you paint the one little spot there on the screen, because the fact that it's some 10 years after the frickin' screen was originally painted, through time and through degradation and light exposure, there's going to be a screen and there's going to be a spot where new paint just was painted on that spot where it was repaired. So I said, the whole screen's got to be repainted to match the coat that's going to be there on the repair. And that where you got it was just about 3 feet off the ground. So it's pretty much right about, if this is a screen, of your television, it's probably about a quarter, maybe a third of the way up in the middle of the gosh darn screen. So it's going to be noticeable by a long shot and by a short shot. It's there. You're going to see it. Sam, get off of it. Sorry, I'm sorry, spirits. Sorry, Sam, if you do that, I swear to God, I'm going to put you in the gosh darn crate and let you sit there overnight. She's stalking her sister again. The black cat's like, and I'm like, don't you attack her. I don't want to hear cat screams and tufts of fur all over the gosh darn house because they're going to get a real big ass cat fight. And I don't want to deal with the vet bill and around the Christmas time. Okay. So as I said to him, I said, so what are we really talking about here? He's like, well, what am I talking about here? So thanks a lot for distracting me. So the point is that, as I was saying about the show, is I told him, I said, it's going to be $25 to get the guy out here to fix that, to sand it down, and then to paint it, which is cheap because he has to paint the whole gosh darn thing. I said, and then it's going to cost me $75 for that quart of the paint. And I'm going to get one coat. I'm going to have to make sure that thing is perfectly. I said, so they said that I was getting unruly, and they decided they weren't going to pay for the damage. They said, we're not paying for that. I said, the hell you aren't. And I got upset at them, of course, because you damaged my house when you're doing your damn TV show for 4 days. You might as well just take responsibility for the damage. And then he goes on in the book to say that, this is all because David is possessed. The house isn't haunted. David's the poltergeist agent. And because of that fact, that's why the house is haunted. It's not the house being haunted. It's David that's the haunted part. By the way, I feel terrible. God damn, I'm bright. Hold on one second. I want to put that gel back in there because I like that diffused yellow look versus that ugly white look. No, I'm not saying the color. There we go. Much nicer. It's amazing what a filter can do it's wonderful what filters can do wonders for you. That's a yellow gel that I've got there right now. So I have a little bit of a diffused look than that bright white killing you. So he goes on to say that I'm a poltergeist agent, that I share my body with spirits, and that I, at times, come in and out of consciousness in a sense. He goes, sometimes he doesn't know who he excuse me. Sometimes he doesn't answer questions as he would as himself. He's answering the questions as if he's somebody else, like he's another person inside of him. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm possessed? I'm possessed. I'm possessed. And that's what your claim is. Your whole 3.5, freaking half a chapter, 3.5 pages, half a chapter, is basically trying to discredit the house, to discredit me, and to make me look like a jackass. And I'm like, boy, you really got something wrong in them ears of yours in your head to make such a claim that you believe that I am possessed and that I'm the reason. And the theory is, the only problem is with his theory is the fact that I wasn't in the house when they shot the investigation. I was outside the house supposed to be outside the house for 6 hours for the investigation. Only reason why I say supposed to be outside the house for 6 hours during their investigation is their investigation lasted 3 hours. That's right. They had planned the investigation to go for 6 hours, and they started at 9 o'clock. They were supposed to go from 9 in the evening. Sam, leave her alone. Samantha, Stop it. Oh, you will respond to my... I forgot. I should use the whistle. Thank you for telling me I should have whistled instead of yelling at her. Except the whistling just gets her attention distracted. Now she's back to stalking your sister. In any event, the idea is that they started at 9 o'clock and go to 3 in the morning. Oh, hello, Reggie. I've got my sunny dog here. So at 9 o'clock, I go to the top of the stairs there. And if you want, I can actually do a reenactment of that for you guys for the camera. So we'll turn this right this way. See there? There you go. No, not that way, more this way. This way, that way. All right, you see that? I'll get some light so you won't see it. It won't be so dark. All right, so. How's that look? Is that better? Want more light? You'll deal with it. 9 o'clock. And I'm not wearing this. I walked to the top of the stairs and I'm like this. And I said, spirits, I know you're furious and you want to throttle them and kill them and just immobilize them within an inch of their lives. I understand that. I know you're upset. I'm asking you not to fuck with them and to leave them alone and to please don't hurt anybody tonight. As much as you want to fuck them up, I'm asking you, I'm praying with you, please do not harm anybody. And there you got the bell going. And I'm like, I'm begging, and I said, that's it. I said, I love you, I appreciate you, I really care, I'm just begging you not to. And I went like this, and I started walking away. Right about here, the producer comes up and says, what the hell was that? I said, what the hell was what? Well, I can do that too, Sharon. She goes, you can turn the light towards you where you are, so you're not in the damn darkness. All right. God, everybody's a director. So I'm standing here, and I said, what do you mean, what the hell was that? I said, I am terrified. After the past 3 days of your shooting here and last night's little indulgence into doing a reenactment of a blood-soaked Sharon Tate effigy, a woman dressed in a white nightgown with a pregnancy around her stomach, covered from head to toe in blood, cradling her pregnancy, walking up the street in bare feet in my driveway. I said, I don't know if you understand this, but that really singers the feathers of the spirits, and they want revenge upon all of you for what you perpetrated last night. After you asked me do you think this is kosher? I said, no, it's not a good idea. It's a terrible idea. It's not kosher at all. I said, you're pissing on the memory of this woman who died down the street from me and doing this. And I said, no, that's why I said I pleaded with the spirits and begged them to leave you guys alone and not hurt anyone, because I'm terrified of the fallout of what's going to take place here. And he says, that's great, because I don't really give a damn. But will you do me a favor? Will you go up there and do it again? But I want a PG-13 version. And I'm like, you want me to do it? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, what the hell? I'll do it. Fine. I said, fine. He goes, okay. Here we go again with the freaking bell. So I go here, and what you saw in the show in that episode, that was the second time I did it. Not the first, but the second time I did it, as he called it, the PG-13 version. Okay? So that's the whole jizz of the book. That's the whole 3.5 pages in the book. He then goes on to say that, hopefully I can get along in life and I won't have not worth repeating as far as I'm concerned. However, that's the story of the book. Now I'm going to turn this light off. I'm now going to read from the good scary stories to be read after dark book. And then we're going to conclude this evening because the fire's out and it's getting late and I didn't want to take it late to the evening. So let me turn my light around. If you want to see my feet, I'm not moonwalking. All right, turn this around. Boy, spirits, you are really something tonight. I really have to say thank you. Well, let's see if I can get this right this time. The first time, the one time. Ooh, oh, sorry. God, you're so sensitive. Jesus Christ. Everybody's so goddamn sensitive around here. It's just, listen, that's a pool. Just a bore and a half. Oh, you're also not. Right? No, you're not. You're not right. You're just, listen how the foot, there you go. Much better. Much lovely. That's much better. Indeed it is. So what do we got here? All right. I love the bell. Geesh. I hear you, David. Let's just catch up to see what you've written to me. Bilbo Baggins is such a douche. Like Matt Lucas says, sorry, I don't want to be quoted because I'm quoting somebody else. Matt Lucas says, Bilbo Baggins is such a douche. Like you said before, David, he's an actor. Doesn't care about the paranormal at all, or very little at least. Don't ask me why I'm doing it like a Gosh Darn sports commentator. And yeah, go Chargers. Chris Cornell. What is Chris Cornell going to do with tonight, though? I thought they were asses, but wow. Zach Bagner you're talking about. Yeah. Yes, Chris. That's what I'm talking about, Chris, was Zacho. Electric Shaman. I want to see your Doors pictures again. Shaman, you're the frickin' troll prick, aren't you? You, can I ask you a question? If you're not the troll prick, why do you always make it so obvious who you are by keeping your caps lock on every time? I hate to segue to this, but what the gives? You know you're going to get blocked like a gosh darn mallet in the gosh darn croquet set, and through the skies you will fly. Why do you bother? Come on. I live lately up going, well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I couldn't stand that harsh white brash light, so I put a yellow gel over it. It's an orange gel. I'm sorry, it's an orange gel. Damn it. Let me catch up. Yeah, supposedly Zach has got other shows. Discovery Networks, it was in the news like 3 years ago. They paid him $30 million for 300 hours of content. So by the fact that they gave him $30 million and then tried to renegotiate because they started to see that, the blowback was not everybody wants a show wants every paranormal show that's on Discovery Channel created by Zach Baggins. That's what the blowback was. And they were trying to renegotiate and they couldn't renegotiate. So yes, Kim, what's your question? Please ask away. I'd like to see. Yeah. Sorry, Shaman, you're a putz. I've asked you not to do that before, and you're still doing it. Is that what you think? Yes, it is. That's who I'm talking about, Chris. I think that's Chris. Bilbo Baggins. Now I understand the ripped. I hear you, Dave. I love the bell. Thank you. I like Zach when he was swearing every other word in the beginning, though. Arrogant ass. Thank you very much, Ren. I appreciate that. Ring my bell. Very funny, Chris. Very, very funny, Kim. What a nasty song. Will you stop it, Kim? Jesus, come on. This isn't about the song. It's just ringing the bell because they remembered what you did that brought back the memory. Matt. Look, the whole freaking time I've been on, the only times they've decided to chime in with the bell is when it's something that resonates in their recollective memory. All right, their collective memory, not recollective. In their memory, that rings true. Oops, I didn't mean to. I did not intentionally mean to make that pun, even though my father would be so proud of me saying, that's a good pun. Thanks, Pops. Miss you, Pops. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's really interesting, Chris. It's not, I leave the thing on during the daytime for hours on end and nothing. I get on the Gosh Darn podcast, things like ding, 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 ding. Well, Jesus Christ, we got some activity tonight. Wait, what? Sharon wouldn't be walking around after being stabbed so many times. No, with Matt. No, Kim, don't say that. No, Kim, What Matt's saying is that the spirit, well, the point of this story is this is the backstory of that. Producer says to me the day before they're doing the reenactment, because as I said, when they shoot the show, they don't shoot it in one day. They shoot it over a course of 4 days. First day is here with me in the interview, an interview and walk around the house, whatever, get the lay of the land. Second day is interviews with other people. Third day, or third night in this case, was reenactments, B-roll, which is stuff that you cut away shots. So there's no sound, there's music, there's no talking. It's just cutaway shots. So you have a transition shot, you have something that's there just as a filler. Or in this case, their cutaway shots was a girl dressed up in a white nightgown floating around the house in like a fog, appearing in the house. So those were the cutaway shots for the B-roll. And then, of course, the reenactment. The reenactment that they asked me about the day before they shot that reenactment of the thing was based upon Dre Fordham's story that she had relayed to them. I don't know how the hell they got her story. And here's the kicker. I hadn't seen this woman in years. She had come here to the house with some people years earlier. I think it was like 6 months before they came out to shoot the show. Maybe a year before 6 months, or either a year to 6 months before they shot the show. I get a call from her and she says, David, this is David. I don't know. Because I was there with some friends of mine back, a couple of years ago, and I wanted to come back and visit the house. My mom's going to be in town, and we want to. I said, fine. She goes, she'll be in a couple of months. When I let you know, like, fine, come on, visit. Never hear another word from this woman. Not a word, just whatever. So and again, all right, fine. The producer says we're doing a reenactment based on this experience that was told to us by Dre Fordham. I'm going. I'm thinking, I was like, oh, that chick, yeah, she was. I said, what story are you talking about? And I'm thinking from her visit several years ago. He goes, oh, no. She says that she came up to your house. I said, she did? He goes, recently? Yeah, recently. I'm going, like hell she did. That was the cat, by the way, meowing. That's not. Hey, Sammy, come upstairs, please, so I don't have to deal with that bullshit now. No, I'm not doing a sound check. I'm trying to get the cat's attention. Usually when I whistle in a weird way, she like runs up thinking it's dinner time because I trained them as such. Sam, come upstairs. Fine. Stay down there. Don't whine. I can't deal with it. So I said, what story is this that she's... Oh, well, apparently she came up to visit you with her mom in the car, and she says she came up Cielo, made the left turn into the driveway, and upon driving up the driveway a little ways, she says she sees this apparition. I said, what? Now I assume it must be at night that this took place. And he says she sees in the middle of the street this woman in a nightgown, full body. I'm going, uh-huh. And he says, she's pregnant. I'm like, uh-huh. And she says, she's clutching with pregnancy. I said, uh-huh. And he says, she's covered in blood. And this is my reaction. I'm like, huh? And she claims it was the apparition of the pregnant Sharon Tate in her white nightgown, like the moment she was killed, clutching her pregnancy. And I said, where the hell does this supposedly take place? He says, towards, not very far, maybe like 100 feet up the driveway, not even. And it's almost like towards, and I'm hearing, she says she turns in, and right as she got to the turn, so maybe she's like 20, 30 feet in the driveway, and she's heading up, she goes in front of her, in the middle of the driveway is this, and I'm going, Sammy! Damn dry lips. Can't talk with dry lips. Wet my whistle. Sammy, come up. So I said, I said, from my house to the bottom of the driveway is 2/10 of a mile. Now it's 3/10 of a mile from the end of the driveway there, sorry, all the way down. So I said, you're talking within the first 50 feet up the driveway, she sees a pregnant Sharon Tate apparition covered in blood. I said, bullshit. I said, you're asking me if I think that's a good thing to do as a reenactment? I'm here to tell you, absolutely positively not a chance in hell. First of all, I don't believe that. Sam, come here. Damn whistle. Sam, come on. Chop, chop. Kitty cat. I'm not. Ignore her. I'll ignore you, right? So I said, second of all, she's propagating an old myth, which is a two-part myth in this case, that you're going to come back as an apparition. You're going to be caught in whatever you were wearing when you died, which is bullshit. I said, two, you're decrying Sharon Tate's apparition as coming back as the effigy of how she looked when she died, covered in blood. I said, let me put it to you this way. A, that's a horseshit lie. I don't believe in it. I find it disrespectful, distasteful, disingenuous, and most importantly, highly exploitive and sensationalistic, but absolutely positively 100% fraudulent. I said, when I saw Jay Sebring's apparition in 2004, A, he was not wearing what he was wearing when he was killed. B, he did not have a single scar on his ethereal being. I was going to say his physical being, but he wasn't alive. But his effigy, his image, was completely without any gunshot wounds or any malicious degradation of his body, like he was rotting in the ground. So I said, oh, there you are, Sam. I said, that's the truth. He goes, and how in the world and why in the world would you be destined to return as the way you left? I said, that's just myth, bull, and crap. And I'm not really interested. Here's Sam. Thanks, Sam. Sammy, I'm here. I will feed you. Don't worry. So I said, I am telling you right now, I am 100% opposed to this reenactment being perpetrated. And I am telling you now, I am totally unhappy about this decision. In lack of better words, he said, fuck you. We're doing what we're going to do. It's our show. I said, fine. I said, look, I am a producer too, and I understand. I'm just giving you a heads up. It's not kosher. It's not good. I said, if it stirs up a mess, that I am not I said, I am not responsible for what happens as a fallout. So they're shooting the gosh darn scene, literally probably about, from the front door, maybe about 50, 60 feet down the driveway, not even. No, you're right, son of a bitch. Wait. Where the hell we... Well, I'm just having flashbacks and thinking, wait a second. No, they shot in a couple of places, but they shot literally 60 feet, and then they shot right in front of the second house coming up the driveway as well, in another spot to get another version. Because I'm thinking, wait a second, I remember two times that she was walking up to get that. Thank you. They took, obviously, they wanted to see how it looked this one way, and then they went down the street and they went to another place where they figured they'd try this angle to see what works best. You know, it's kind of like a pick and choose. You could have two different locations, shoot the same scene in both locations and see which one turns out to be the best one, and you go with it. When they were shooting 60 feet down the driveway from the... I asked you to let me finish my sentence, then ring. And only when it's really, really, really significant, like an exclamation point. I'm telling you now, you got to listen to them. It's not fair to interrupt anybody, dead or alive. I'm telling you now, don't do it. You understand? Don't do it. So as I said, I'm on the side of the house on the staircase. The house next door doesn't exist. It's just a vacant lot. And I'm sitting there trying to get some candid shots for myself. from a little bit of a distance, maybe like 30 feet away, and I'm snapping the pictures with my camera, and I'm looking, and no, I'm not using a camera phone, I'm using a real 35 millimeter, no, 35, a digital SLR, which is a single lens reflex, SLR, yeah, single lens reflex camera. So you look through the eye hole, and you're actually looking through the lens. And it's a digital, but it's a professional camera, and I'm taking pictures, and after I'm done, I think I took a picture, and I'm looking, and the picture comes up on the screen, I'm like, well, like this, and it's like, and in one picture, there's this ball of light pouring out of the girl's stomach. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not possible. I said, the cameras are in front of her. Says, here she is. Here are the cameras. And where do you have the cameras? You don't have the cameras. You don't have the lights behind her. Because what you'll do is you'll get a blacked out image silhouette of her, and you'll just see this big bright light. And then you'll see this, you won't see her physically, you'll see the shadow because she'll be casting. So the lights are in front of her with the cameras. So here's the cameras, here she is, and here are the lights. And she is in a nightgown, a white nightgown, probably goes to about her knees. It's got nothing at all reflective. So it's a white nightgown. So as I'm looking through the pictures, I then see there's the next picture. It's fine. I see the picture report. It's fine. There's just one with this ball of light pouring right out of her stomach. And I got like, holy crap. And then I started feeling like chills and got ickiness. And I heard, we're going to get them. We're not going to forget this. You told them that this was not kosher, and they still went ahead and did this. So let me see this crap. Let me catch up. Sure, I like vlogs. You know that. I'm always good for this. Crap. I'm getting a lot of interaction with Bill. He's telling his story. Let's just see. I'm not sure. So thank you, David. Sure, Kim. Hey, I can't help myself. It's okay, Kim. You're okay. Hey, Pierce. Nice to see you. Pierce the Ash. Sounds like good, so I'm going to talk to her. Well, of course, you should talk to her, Shannon. There's no reason not to. Night, Kim. Take care. Bye, Nancy. Nice to see you again. When there weren't many houses when Sharon was living here, you interrupted me again. I asked you to leave me the time to speak. All right, fine. When Sharon lived here, oh, now I know why you're freaking my notes. Because show them. I'll get the goddamn picture. Stop it. I'm not your servant. Well, that's a fucking shit. I certainly act like it, though, don't I? All right, let me get you a picture. Now, we've been on for almost 2 hours. We're cutting out at 2 hours. But I'll get you a picture to show you what the place looked like back in the day. So you can see exactly how many houses were here during that tragic event that took place 55 years ago. Now, everybody hold on. Oh, not this. No, I want to blow up that. Yes, that. Yes, that. The long shot. No, that's a close. All right, no, that's not. Yeah, that's all right. That's good. That's it. Thank you. All right. So, what I'm about to share with you now, let me turn that down light off because that's pouring white light into the yellow light. I like yellow, clear. All right, so I'll show you on this. This picture I'm about sharing with you. Let's see, where am I? All right, this here is at the end of the drive here is where Sharon's house was. The time of the murders, there was a house about 50 feet away from the property, which was this house. And then the house next door, there was a space, there was a lot, and then there's the house next door. And then as you see, so these two houses were here, there was Sharon's house. And at the very bottom of the driveway was one house at the bottom of the driveway. So there was Sharon's, 1, 2, there were 3 houses besides the Tate residence. And this is where we are right now. And each one of these lots is 48 feet. So you have 48, and then there's a lot there that's empty, vacant lot, and a lot there. So that's 150 feet from where we are right now. The neighbor that lives at the bottom house was there during the murders as well. Now, Susan Atkins later said in 1972 in an interview that their original marching orders were to kill everybody at all the residents up here, as well as the people at the Tate residence. But as she later confided and said, they were too tired from the murders at the Tate house, so they did not murder the rest of the other three houses residents as well. So with that said, let me catch up to what you got. We're talking about. So barely run. I think there were two, and then the house at the bottom. Yes, you're right, Annie. You're very right. Yes, people in the canyon heard the screams. My friend Richard Anderson, who has passed away, who was famous for playing in the $6 Million Man, he was Oscar Goldman. His house is right below mine. I remember telling me the story that the day of the murders was crazy. Helicopters were flying over, and the news helicopters were flying over, and he was being interviewed by the police for a few hours to answer questions about what he heard that night. So it was nuts. No, Ren, I don't believe in this residual energy storytelling that we've come up with, this myth making, that a theory that has absolutely positively, to me, 100% no weight whatsoever. I'm sorry. I have yet to experience anything when it's residual. Let's be honest here, and I'm going to be blunt. We spend more times hypothesizing, theorizing about what is going on with the spirits. And the bloody ass truth is, none of those theories truly, honestly have been proven to be validated by any clinical, mostly clinical, or anything that, I don't even want to go so far as to say this, but probable factual evidence to back any of that up. It's all like throwing darts. No. Thank you. I got the visual. It's like playing pin the tail on the donkey. Except the donkey's this big, and the pin is that big, and you're in a room the size of the gosh darn of a football field. The odds of you guys getting these accurate theorizations on the mark are without a doubt insurmountable odds against it. I just don't see it being possible, and I have yet to see anything that validates most of those theories that have been predicated by people that postulate those things and bring them into the house and then attempt them. And they do not follow through. They do not, let us say, do what the theory says it's going to do. For lack of better words, there's, to me, no basis. It's all hypothetical horseshit. Why? Because we're freaking human beings and we can't accept the unknown for being unknown. We have to rationalize, theorize, and hypothesize and speculate and postulate. And the problem is it's horseshit. And I don't know how to say this any more bluntly, but after living here for 22 years and having countless paranormal investigators, both quote unquote professional and amateurs, I just don't see anything, rhyme or reason to anything that makes any sense. And yes, I visited other places. I've been to the Winchester Mystery House when it was, in fact, the Winchester Mystery House and billed as such before it turned into the haunted Winchester House. It's like, it's not even that freaking haunted. It really is not. And the idea that Sarah Winchester had built it for such purposes to confuse the restless spirits of those that were put in the grave by the usage or by as a result of the usage of the Winchester Firearms Company that provided plenty of guns and repeating rifles through the 19th century and the 20th century. So that she had, as she believed, she had blood on her hands and was guilt-ridden and tormented and didn't want to be tormented by the spirits. That's the reason why she built the house. She didn't say the house was haunted, but she felt that her being, that she, because she was the heiress to this huge, insane amount of money, blood money, for lack of better words, I just heard, in her mind, she felt guilt-ridden and was concerned that she would be the target of spirits that were unhappy that she somehow was the which is kind of funny when you think about it. It's a 20th century. It's now being, how should we say, they're trying to sue the gun manufacturers. That's what she was afraid of then, but she wasn't afraid of lawsuits. She was afraid that those that had died at the hands of those that had used her father's manufactured firearms, that they would target her in this life. Which, look, I'm not one to say she was right or she wrong, but I think it's a little far-fetched, and I think she was guilt-ridden by it. But it wasn't ever haunted. It didn't become haunted until the gosh darn production company in the studios bought the rights to turn that story into Winchester House, the haunted Winchester. And now it's turned into a gosh darn, let's just say it's turned into a gosh darn it turned in from a, as we used to call it, what was it again? We called it a sideshow. Not as a sideshow, but it was a roadside attraction. It used to be just a roadside attraction, an anomaly. It's kind of like the largest ball of twine, or the whatchamacallit, the Source up in Northern California, where the rooms were kind of like this, and you feel like you're falling backwards. Except it became an anomaly, and then it turned into a gosh darn circus. And that's what you got now, is a promoted circus of the paranormal that place has become. I was there 35 years ago. I'm dating myself. 2000, no, it was 1998. Yeah, it was 1998. 1998. No, 1988. I was there. 88? Yeah, 88. 1989. I was there in 1989. And drove up to San Jose to see somebody I was dating, and we went in there, and I was like, it was called the Winchester Mystery House. It wasn't that big of a deal. Now it's gone through the roof for the promotions and marketing and all the campaigns. And I went to the place, and I was like, I said, I'm avidly pursuing and seeking out the paranormal. I'm seeking out ghosts. So I'm always like this going, and it was an architectural anomaly. I mean, it is exactly what it is. It's cockeyed. You walk up the stairs and boom, you're right into the ceiling. I'm going, all right, there's the ceiling. I said, and this is like the stairs that lead to this place. Or you come to a door, and it's like the door, they say, there's a window next to you. Look down, it goes to nowhere. It goes, I'm thinking, okay. And the style was Victorian and Edwardian. It was just a mishmash. And I'm like, this is cockeyed. This doesn't make me feel good, but I certainly don't see any ghosts or feel any spirits. So that's that in a nuts sense is that. Vincent Bigliosi withheld some information about the case. It was about a tape found at the Tate, supposedly Bigliosi told a reporter off of tape. All right, Annie. Listen to me, Annie. That's a crock of shit. Okay? There was no fucking tape. That's just a fable and a half about that being found at the Sharon Tate house. He didn't withhold. Look. I want to set some records straight here. Vincent Bugliosi had no goddamn clue in 1970, when the case was going on, that this thing was going to become a sensationalistic thing. See, we're all using 2024 thoughts, and I'm going to use this term very, very clearly. Hindsight is 2020. It's very, very, very super easy for us in the year 2024 to look back 55 years ago and cast aspersions upon what took place and what happened during the trial in 1970 and 71. It was 70 it finished. After the play put it this way. When you're watching something on replay, it's one thing. If you're watching it on replay 55 years later, you can come up with any type of thoughts you want. The problem is you have 55 years from the incident to the act, to your perspective. And in those years, things change. Meaning, In 1970, nobody thought that this was going to become this big sensationalistic book that it became. And everybody was like, oh, he knew. Bullshit. The fact of the matter was that you're trying to say, well, because the Boston Strangler became a movie starring Tony Curtis, it was big. It's like, you know something? Not every murder becomes the sensationalistic murder became a gosh darn film. In those days, that wasn't the bill of fare. And it wasn't something that he was going to create so that he could make this masterpiece of a story out of the murders and blaming Charlie Manson. And I got news for you. You want to know what the burning crucible against all of that crap is that I just said to prove my point? Is the fact that there's newsreel footage of the girls, the Manson girls we're talking about, and Manson talking in 1969, 70, bragging about their exploits. I don't recall Vincent Bugliosi putting a gun to their head to make them carry on and behave the way they did in court and make the statements that they made in court. Furthermore, those people who were witnesses that testified, including Ronnie Howard, Susan Atkins' cellmate at Sybil Brand Penitentiary, Women's Institute, or the jail for the women in California, where Susan Atkins bragged her little butt off about the murders to her cellmate. Because if she didn't do that, the odds are the murders to this day would probably not have been solved. You see, what happened was that Susan Atkins bragged her ass off to her cellmate in, November of 1969, while she was in jail for something totally unrelated. And at that time, in November of 1969, nobody knew still who the murderers were. It wasn't until December. It might have been October, I'm being told. It might have been mid-October, late October. Through the course of time, this was taking place. So Ronnie Howard told the jailer confided in the jailer to tell that to the warden. Unfortunately, she missed, as the old saying goes, it was a game of telephones where one person was told one thing, and by the time it goes to the fifth person, what was told initially does not relate to what is told by the fifth person. So she misconstrued or misrelayed information that Ronnie Howard had told her, that was told her by Susan Atkins, and that she knew who the murderers were and responsible parties for the Sharon Tate murders. By a lucky chance, one of the district attorney's assistant district attorneys got the note and found out about this and heard this rumor, and they were so desperate to follow any leads to discover or uncover who the perpetrators of the tragedy that took place down the street from me were. So it was just by the luckiest chance and the slimmest of threads that led to the actual physical understanding of who was responsible. And Susan Atkins had no problem talking to them about the murders and bragging about it. And that is what is that. Plus, if you have any doubts about what I'm saying, go find yourself a video called Manson. It's about an hour long. It was shot in 1970 and 70 to 71 by a reporter who embedded himself with the family at Spahn Ranch for 6 months and lived there and interviewed these people and put together this documentary. And you got people that were there, part of the family, from a few months earlier, after they were the others were incarcerated and on trial, talking boldly and brashly about their feelings and their sentiment and their beliefs. And it's uncanny because people say, oh, they were acting. It's like, the hell they were. You want to destroy the credibility of the people that bragged about the murders who were there? Go right ahead. Diane Lake, named Snake in the family, was actually here 5 or 6 years ago, and I talked to her, and she said, this is all true. The stuff that happened, people are trying to discredit it because they're trying to make a big to-do out of it so they can make a gosh darn cottage industry out of the murders because they don't like the truth. Because the truth doesn't sell because it's 55 years stale. So we're going to come with some new theories, conspiracies that we can promote and sell and propagate ourselves up as the gosh darn truth seekers we are. Here, I'll show you what I'm saying. I hold in my hand the truth of the Sharon Tate murders. I know the truth. I have it here. Buy my book or see my seminar. Because they don't like him. This guy I'm speaking specifically of is the guy who wrote the book Chaos, who claims that Stephen Parent was the last person to be killed that night. And I say, based on what? And I read the excerpts of his book, and I'm going, yeah, that's great. That's a great theory. That's a great conspiratorial theory. There's like one little problem with it. Flies in the face of every goddamn known fact. Meaning the witness testimony, the testimony is that perpetrated the crime, including Tex Watson. So, I mean, if you want to go make a conspiracy theory, you really got to go out on a limb to go that far to say murderers were lying. And the witnesses were lying that said they heard the sounds of the gunshots at this time. The physical evidence on the timeline of when these things took place. And furthermore, it doesn't make any sense. He says that Stephen Parent put his car in reverse and when he saw the killers coming in and put it in reverse by accident, floored it, and went smashing into one of the beams that are around the back of the property, so near the edge of the side of the hill, and he left his paint mark there on the post. And I sat there and I said, I know what you're talking about, the gosh darn guardrail in the back of the house. And yes, there's physical evidence that there's a paint chip that matches Stephen's car. It's one little problem. If the guy, physical problem in relation to physicality, if what he said was even remotely possible and true, and Stephen put his car in reverse at a high rate of speed, and floored it by accident, put it in reverse and floored it backwards. And it hit that guardrail post. At anything more than 10 miles an hour, the guardrail post probably would have popped and broken, and his car would have traveled over the goddamn hill and gone down into the neighbor's house down below it, in what they call what's it called? The duplicate house? Of the twin house. Sorry, the twin house that was built down below her property. And her house, sorry. And, it was just a simple nick. And again, the guardrail is about 4 inches by 4 inches, a post. The car doesn't have that much damage to the rear bumper or to the rear of the car where it made contact. Secondly, not enough damage to say, yeah, he was at 25 miles an hour. Are you nuts? These people speak in such ether thoughts. I'm going, well, that's great. But in reality, where we live and exist and deal with the facts that are there, it didn't match. It didn't match the impact to the car because there would have been a crumple on the car. He hit it that far and much. But I can see where Steve probably put it into reverse, hit it, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that, and then went forward and motored forward towards the gosh darn killers as they were walking into the property. And again, Stephen then, wow, thank you, Stephen. That's a first. You're here, huh? All right. Well, I want your story told truthfully and honestly. I don't want people to get the wrong impression. And then as he's traveling towards the gate and it starts to open, he sees them walking towards him. And then Tex flags him down, puts his left hand on the front of the car, on the hood, then proceeds to go around the car to the driver's side with the window down, and then pulls out his buntline .22 caliber revolver and fires away. Because the witness testimony from the neighbors is they hear the gunshots and then the screams. Not screams for 10 minutes or so, and then gunshots. There's a set of gunshots before the screams, and then more and gunshots in that time, but they're not all the same, and they're not related to Stephen Parent whatsoever. He was killed first and foremost when he was leaving. And as Scott Michaels, my friend from Dearly Departed Tours, said, had he left 5 minutes earlier, he would have still been alive to this day. Meaning, had he crossed their path as he's driving down the driveway at 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, he doesn't have to stop for anybody. He's going down the driveway and they're walking up. So they would have moved off to the side and he would have driven right past him and that would have been it. End of story. Or they would have hidden in the bushes or something, but he would have been alive. That's the tragedy, that some of these people go out of their way to concoct these cockamamie theories that, the CIA was in. Didn't you know that Sharon's father was special ops with the U.S. Army? It's like, oh my God, and she's still alive. It's going, it boggles the freaking mind what these people have thought up and concocted as a conspiracy theory. I call them constipation theories. Why? Because they're as good as the you-know-what that comes out of your ass when you sit on the toilet and you have the runs. It's watery crap. That's the first. Thank you. That was a good one. Anyways, let's see what you guys have written here, since there's people there that want to be acknowledged, besides the spirits, that is. Barely ran to Winifred ran away from Kim. Winifred Chapman, the African-American housekeeper for Sharon Tate, went the next morning, entered the house. Oh, no, that's a good question. Shit, she went in there. Well, Stephen's car was checked. So, all right, but I see. All right, got it. She went in the house. She sees Stephen Parent's car. Now, you didn't see Stephen Parent because he was slept on the seat and below the seat, below the inside the car. So she didn't look in the car and look at him. She went in the house. The car was parked off to the side, didn't pay much attention, went inside the house. And when she went in the house, I guess she went in the back door because she probably went in the back door of the house. Because if she would have, maybe she wouldn't. I don't know the details. I would say that she probably went in the back door, because I'm saying, the reason why I say this is, if she went in the front door, she would have passed Abigail Folger's body and Wojciech Frykowski's dead body on the lawn. Had no reason to go in the house to see Sharon and Jay. And as I understand it, she saw all of the bodies. And the only way that could happen is by going in the house by the back door, which makes a lot of sense because she's the housekeeper at the time. And there's not, just saying, she went in the back door, saw Sharon and Jay, went out the front door. And as she did, she saw the other two bodies and then ran out down the driveway to the first house. And I'll show you what I mean by the first house, to this house right here, to this house here, the first house right there. Because the people at that house didn't answer the door that morning because she didn't want to, because as she famously said, I didn't hear the gunshots, I didn't hear the screams and cries for help. Later on, she confessed that she didn't want to get involved, and that's why she didn't answer the door that night of the murders. I mean, the day after the murders, or called the police the night of the murders. My point is that Winifred was there long after the murders had been completed and was just hysterical and just out of her mind, shocked to death that her employer and her employer's ex-fiance and two friends who were staying there were dead. She had no idea that Stephen Parent was dead in the car. She didn't. Why would she have looked in the car? Because if the first thing is if she walked in and looked inside the car and saw the body, she would have run straight to the first house and knocked on the door, at which point she got no response as she came to the house next door, this house right here, and got, the son of the owner to basically let her in and for her to sit there and call the police and wait there. So that's what that was about. If true, it might have cast doubt and provided more suspects related to my comment above. Annie, I know I'm addressing your comment after I just went through it, but I hope you have a better understanding about what I just said so that there's no more confusion or concern or concept of this elusive other perpetrators of the crime. There weren't anyone else involved but those three Right? 4 individuals, 3 of which were part of the crime, 1 of which abstained and watched in horror. Matt, take care. It's always pleasant to see you. I'll talk to you later. I'm catching up. I'm sorry. It takes me a while. Couldn't see it. Most of the picture, that is. I hope you can see it now, Shannon, or did see it at least. Okay, you're the one out there, Libby. You should know. Well, Brandon, I just am not prone to listening to people that are trying to reassign blame, reconstitute the actual factual, God, for lack of better words, factual points of the accuracy of what truly took place. See, I don't take the stance that Helter Skelter is a crock of shit. And a lot of people do. And I find that sad and sickening that the truth isn't good enough for them, that they need something more sensationalistic to understand the motivation of Charles Manson and what caused the despicable demise of those 5 people that were down the street from my house. All right? That's all I'm saying. The truth is, the book is the truth. Helter Skelter, the book by Vincent Bugliosi, is pretty goddamn spot on. And I'll put it to you bluntly. If you sit in jail for a few years, that's one thing. But by the 5th, the 10th, the 15th, the 20th, the 25th, the 35th, the 25th, the 30th, the 35th, the 40th, the 45th year of rotting away in jail with no prospects of being released, you will find any way, shape, or form that you can create some kind of a curiosity about yourself, because you're not getting out. Your prospects are 0 to none to getting out. So you have to, gosh darn, survive, and you want to get attention. You concoct stories and change the narrative so that you can get attention and make money off of that. That's all it is. Because like I said, funny, their stories didn't change in the first couple of years after they were in jail. But later on, as time went on, they got older and they got more disparaged and more dejected of their lives and their demise. That's what happens. You got to concoct a story to bring back. Thank you. She goes, no one wants to hear the same retread of old news over and over again. It's boring. They want something different. There's got to be more to it. You ever hear, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. Because you're not willing to accept the truth. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. Say, hell, they'll be more than happy to provide you with that bullshit. Why? Because they don't have anything to lose. They're going to die in jail, as Susan Atkins did, as Charles Manson did. That's my point. It got stale, so who's going to care? Well, we read Helter Skelter. That's good enough. There's the truth. No, that's not the truth. They're going to say, well, I want attention. I need money. Well, there you go. No one's paying for the same story years later. I'm trying to catch up to this. Thanks, Annie, for your information. Wait, what? Stephen had done then. Sharon and the others would have heard it as well as the neighbors. Hold, wait. Sarah, if Stephen had done that, then Sharon and the others would have heard this. If Stephen had done that, sorry. So Sarah, you're saying Stephen had ran into the pole? I mean, the post at high rate of speed? No, they were partying. They were inside the house. They were inside the house playing music, so it's not likely that they would have heard any of that. And again, you got to hear, oh, shit. All right, crap. Let me get you another picture. I will show you the distance between the house and where Stephen's car is, and the distance. And you go, wow, that's not close. It's like, it's not right on top. It's not like you're right on top of it and it's 10 feet away. It was like 50 feet away. Here, let me get you the pictures, and I will show you what I'm speaking thereof, so you can see the layout of the property clearly. And you'll see where his car is, and where the house is, and you go, wow, that's a distance. And it's like, yeah, it is. All right, that's a good picture. Yeah, that's a good. No, that's not the best picture. Crap, son of a bitch. There we are. I got it. All right, I got 2 pictures to share with you here. All right, let's start with this. All right, no, let's start with this shit. No, start with. All right, here's the setup shot. First and foremost, let me get around here. Let me get around there. I need. Son of a bitch. I want to see what I'm talking about. So turn this here so I can see it clear as a bell. That's easy. There we go. All right, here we go. Here, I'll try to do it as best as possible. Here's the gate. Where's the gate? All right, here's the gate right here. Got me? Where the fuck is the gate? All right, here's the gate. Right here. Can you see that? Where my finger is? Here's the gate right here. Here's the first house. Stephen's car is here now. Stephen's car was here coming out at the gate, and he was killed here. Here's the house. That's the house. Do you see this? Boom. I'll do it like this. And this is probably not the best. But if you're here, and there's your gate, right there, and they pushed the car back to here after the murders. So here, I'll get you the second. Where's the second picture? Give me the second picture here. Thank you very much. This is a lot easier for me to work with. So again, he's here. This is a closer. This is a bigger shot. So Stephen's car is now here, but Stephen was killed, say, over here, right? And from here, the traveling of the sound, it's even further than that, has to go all the way. And this is where they are in this house. See the distance? It's a good amount of feet. It's probably about 75 to 100 feet. Yes, sound travels. But again, sound travels in the canyons, and that's what confused a lot of the neighbors. They couldn't ascertain and get a fix on where the location of origin was of the gunshots. And again, 22 caliber buntline revolver is not a 357 Magnum. It's not a shotgun. It's a small caliber. I don't have one. Yes, I have a 22 caliber bullet. I don't have one here with me. It's about that big. That's the length of a 22 caliber. Hold on. I'm getting a gosh darn earful from the spirits.
Show them where a 22 caliber bullet looks like. Then they'll understand.
All right. Hold on, folks. Maybe the spirits will pop out of the picture. I found my example 22 caliber bullet. I hope the spirits were kind enough to apply them, let you know that they're here. This, my dear friends. Oh shit, let me turn this the hell around so I don't miss this. No, stop that, cancel, don't reload. That, and I mean that. This, how do you show the goddamn son of a bitch? Yeah, maybe it'll fit. Oh, ha ha ha. This is a straw. Do you all see what I've just done? I've put a bullet inside of a straw. Shut up. This is how small this bullet is. Now, mind you, this is a 22 caliber long rifle bullet. It's called a 22 caliber LR, long rifle. This is a lot more than what you would find in a 22 caliber buntline revolver. This is even too. 22 caliber LR long rifle means there's more grains of gunpowder in here because it's a long. 22 caliber regular is probably about there. That's the length of it. It's a small caliber. It doesn't make a lot of boom. It's like less loud than a firecracker. So when they said, the neighbors said they heard the sounded like firecrackers being lit. That's the sound that they were thinking. So nobody was hearing kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. It's not a goddamn hand cannon. It's a gosh darn pop gun. But pop gun or not, 5 bullets that are this big at this short range of maybe 3 feet, make 2 feet. Let's say 1.5 feet, I just heard. Close enough to fucking enter into at close range, you will do damage to the internal organs as such and kill somebody. So let's just say that's why the idea that the gunshots are not all the same, and that a 22 caliber buntline revolver is going to not be that loud, especially when you consider he's not shooting it in the air, he's shooting it within the confines of a car. I forgot the car. I'm sorry, Buick Electra. Thank you, Stephen. The passenger window was closed, rolled up, and only the driver's side window was rolled up. So the sounds are pretty much confined to that little area, that space. So it's not going to be echoing out forever and ever for miles and miles. And if it does, it's going to sound like firecrackers being lit. Let me catch up to this to see what you guys have said. Had done that, the chair, and he size more says, wait, god damn it. They were innocent people. Annie, all right, I'm not here to defend them, but I don't consider them rabid animals. That's something I don't consider applicable. They were led down the wrong path by a manipulative, sociopathic individual named Charles Manson. They were a product of their generation who were rebelling against their parents and fled their parents to move to a commune. Unfortunately, the commune they fell into was not a regular love and peaceful commune. It was the Manson family. We all know what that was like. So, that's... Could you guys see the bell? Yeah, that's this one. That just went off. Right. Thank you, spirits. I'm not disparaging you, and I'm not putting them on a pedestal. I'm just saying that they weren't drug-fueled savage animals is what I'm getting at. They weren't... I don't want to get into that as well. What do we got? I got the name of my spirit app. Yeah, I remember that, Jackie, of course. I know, I remember that, Jackie. I remember that very well. I said, Winnipeg, said that time about Winnipeg are guilty. Right. In 1960, nothing like something, but in 1969, something like that supposedly on tape might have confused the jury enough to have doubts. No. Annie, there was no fucking tape. There was no tape. There was no tape. Whoever told you that told you a full of shit lie. There was no tape. There was no magic bullet. It's just as simple as that. There wasn't. See, people love to be... Here's an example. How many people do you think were supposed to be there that night of the murders? In Hollywood, almost 95% of the Hollywood celebrities' crews were supposed to be at this party and avoided this terrible tragedy that took place at Sharon Tate's house. Do you want to know the goddamn truth, Annie? There were absolutely, positively this donut amount of people that were ever going to be there besides the 5 people that were there that were killed that night. You see what I'm getting at? If everybody that said they were supposed to be at that party, that supposed party that they all, for some reason, missed, including, yes, I know. Chuck Norris famously said, Bruce Lee and I were invited to that party that night. If Bruce and I were there, that whole thing would have gone down totally different. Yeah, it would have, because there was no party. And the idea that you are part of this crew of individuals who laid claim to the fact that I was invited to the party is sickening. It shows a certain lack of integrity, honesty, and a certain amount of sickness in all of your heads to make a statement, a sensationalistic one at that you all were supposed to be at a party that never was, that you were never invited to that night, because the simple fact is there wasn't any party there. There was never, the only people that were there that night were the people that ended up dying there that night. The only person who was really not supposed to, was not expected to be there, of course, was, of course, Stephen Parent. Because he was visiting the house, oh God, I forget what you call it, the houseman who was in the guest house behind the main house. He's the only one that wasn't supposed to be there. And it was let's just say it was bad timing and bad luck for him that he was there. But let's be honest here. There's certain facts that you cannot whatsoever dispute. And these are simple facts that I don't give a hoot in hell who claims otherwise. They're photographs, and we've all seen them, of the victims. 3 of those victims, Sharon Tate and Abigail Folger, those 2 females were in their nightgowns. And I'm not making this shit up. This is fact. This is in the photographic evidence. Wojtek Frykowski was in his pajamas. The only person of the four victims inside that were there, supposed to be there, that wasn't in that attire was Jay Sebring. That's because Jay Sebring was Sharon's ex-fiancé, and he happened to be there after dinner, and he was the one who was still dressed because he wasn't home. His house was a mile up the street. And the fact of the matter is that because Sharon and Abigail were both in their nightgowns and attire, and we know from the murders what they said, that when they went in the house, that Abigail was in her bedroom with Wojtek, and Abigail was sitting on the bed, reading a book, and she waved at one of the girls, whatever. How many people do you know that have in Hollywood that are having a party and are expecting people to come over to said party, are in their pajamas and in their nightgowns? Think about that next time you go off and perpetrate and propagate this bullshit crap story that people are loving to push over the edge and continue to perform this narrative of perfect insanity. Because when you look at the simple facts, in reality, you can't come to any other conclusion. And the conclusion that there was a party there that night is pretty horrendous, pathetic, and audacious, and despicable. Because the simplest of facts, as the way they were dressed in their attire and they were found dead in, shows you. Secondly, if there was a party that night and it was going to go on into the wee hours of the night, you would assume, where the hell were any of those individuals that were supposed to be there after the murders took place? Because nobody discovered and uncovered the murders until the following morning. And you're going to tell me of some 1,000 people in Hollywood that were supposed to be at the party, that not one single, let me repeat that, of the 1,000, let us say, and there was at least 1,000 people that claimed that fact, that were invited, not one single one of them showed up that night at all. And furthermore, what are the odds, statistically speaking, thank you, that 1,000 people would be invited to a party and not one single one of them would have made it? What are those odds? Everyone had a patented excuse behind why it is they surreptitiously were devoid of making it to that night. Steve McQueen with his crock of shit story. Oh, this chick I picked up. Bullshit. I would more than love to speak to any of those people that laid claim to that statement of theirs, that I was supposed to be at the party. And funny, I've also met somebody, well, I'm not going to say who it was, but who's 95 years old, who claimed that he was invited to the party. And I wanted to say to him, but he's too old for me to do that and call him out on it. And I like his work and I like him as a person. And I feel terrible to sit there and get up his craw about this. But the truth is I wanted to say, that story about you guys being invited, you know better than I do. That's just bullshit. because everybody wants to be associated with the titillation of, I was to have this 2 degrees of separation between the tragedy and where they were involved in it, because it's about them and the universe. I was supposed, no one. So anytime somebody says that to you, I said, really? I said, really? So you dissuaded for an hour or so. So what, the party was over by 1 o'clock? So in those days, parties, apparently, according to the next door neighbor, she said they were, they had a history of having parties there that were late into the night, early wee hours of the morning there. And that she had basically got so fed up with it, she thought she heard fireworks and didn't want to get involved. She didn't realize that the screams were actually screams of murder. Like I said, that's something, food for thought for you all to think about and put into your, thank you, put into your processor in your head. And next time somebody makes these statements, start to apply some basic known facts, not the shit that you're going to lay claim is not accurate and fraudulent as far as the trial is concerned. Look at the simple facts, the physical evidence that no one's disputed. And come back to me and say, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Why would the three of them that lived there be in their pajamas if they weren't planning on going to bed before they were inauspiciously wiped out? Do you think you host a party in your nightgown? And that Abigail's in her nightgown and Vortex in his pajamas? Who are you expecting to entertain when you're dressed like that? It's not like Sharon didn't have class and dignity. She sure as hell wasn't having a party in her goddamn nightgown without the 3 people that were there that were living there, and Jay being her ex-fiancé who lived a mile up the street, who was going to go home after he was done there to go back to his house had he not been killed. So I'm sorry that I'm very passionate about this. But somebody's got to goddamn stand up to the truth and the victims and not make a mockery of them. And that just happens to be me. And that's all I really have to say about it. Oh, God, that's interesting, Shannon. Happy birthday come this January, then. I'm catching up. I was wondering. You can see Abigail in the photo. Yeah, that's in the photo you saw the body under the white sheet. Yeah. Yeah, Ren, I agree with you 1,000%. It is tough. Ren. There were 1,000 people in Hollywood, at least, that said they were all invited to this party, this quote unquote party that was going to take place at Sharon Tate's. Yet, in fact, Sharon even said, her sister later said, Deborah said that she called Sharon during the day and she said she wanted to come over, and Sharon says, no, I'm taking it easy now. I'm having dinner with Abigail, and, come by tomorrow, she said, I'm not having any event tonight. So Deborah, her own sister, who I believe more than all of Hollywood, said there was no party there that night. And I don't believe there was. The physical evidence doesn't substantiate the fact that there was going to be any party there that night. And the fact is, they went to dinner at around 8:30, 9 o'clock, went to the Yellow Coyote, had dinner, spent 2 hours there, came home around 11:15. As Jay, who lived up the street, was going to go home after, basically that the three residents who were there, Abigail, Wojtek, and Sharon, were all dressed to go to bed. And that's it. Nothing more to it. I commented on a post that Ginger Baker's daughter made. She said her dad, Eric, and Clapton were supposed to be there, so yes, that's BS. Ginger Baker's daughter is as full of shit as anything. And again, everybody wants to be there, so there's the titillation. Why? Because it's not about the murders. It goes back to it's about these individuals wanting to get this shared spotlight or limelight of this tragedy through association. It's like, so they got something to say because it's everybody wants to be part of it. Example, funny enough, an example I'm thinking, a couple of weeks before or after I forgot when the hell it was. I have to look up when Woodstock was, but the statement goes, if everybody who laid claim to being at Woodstock was at Woodstock, there would have been over 5 million people at Woodstock. And we know for a fact there was only 500,000 people at Woodstock. So 4.5 million people are full of shit and lying about them being at Woodstock. My point is that everybody wants to be a part of it. That incident, that moment, that sensationalistic spot in time. And unfortunately, the fact of the matter is we all can't be part of it. Whatever it is, but everybody wants to be, so everybody will fib, they want that association. It's like, but I was there. It's like, you weren't even fucking born. How could you? Well, my mom was there and I was in her tummy. It's like, oh my God. I seriously doubt your mom was pregnant and was there at Woodstock with you. That I just, it's like these human beings are all motivated by certain things. And certain people, I have to say, want to have an association through egocentricity, where their own self-worth or their self wants to be connected to, because everybody wants. I saw the bill, it's like, yeah, okay, you did. How old are you? You're how old? You didn't see the Beatles. They weren't playing in 1979. They broke up in 1969, 1960. So just these certain little things and these caveats that keep on escaping people, but it makes for good bullshit. That's all it is. Now, I wanted to, I honestly wanted to read from the book because, goddamn, oh my fuck. I've gone an hour and 40 minutes. Spirits, would you like to chime in when it's time for me to get off the gosh darn, show here, the podcast? Because I'd appreciate you guys letting me know when you want me out or off the air. I said to you guys, I'm a man of my word. I know I've gone an hour and 40 minutes longer, but I want to read to you guys from the good book. More scary stories to tell in the dark. I actually put the bookmark in because I figured we should do this. No, we're not reading that. We read that before, so I can't read High Beams. That's a great story, though. And because it's such a great story, I'm going to read it back to you guys anyway. So for those of you that have never heard this, you're in for a doozy of a story. For those of you, fuck it. Piece of tape. For those of you who have heard this before, please listen closely. I'm gonna bore your ass off again. I'm gonna read the song one more. I'm gonna read the story one more time. So enjoy it, and I hope you do. The story is called High Beams. The girl driving an old blue sedan was a senior at the high school. She lived on a farm about 8 miles away and used the car to drive back and forth. She had driven into the town that night and to see the basketball game. Now she was on her way home. As she pulled away from the school, she noticed a big red pickup truck follow her out of the parking lot. A few minutes later, the truck was still behind her. I guess we're going the same direction, she thought. She began to watch the truck in her mirror. When she changed her speed, the driver of the truck changed his speed. When she passed the car, so did he. Then he turned on his high beams, flooding her car with light. He left them on and for almost a minute. He probably wants to pass me, she thought. But she was becoming uneasy. Usually she drove home over a back road. Not too many people went that way, But when she turned onto the back road, so did the truck. I've got to get away from him, she thought. And she began to drive faster. Then he turned his high beams on again. After a minute, he turned them off. Then he turned them on again and off again. She drove even faster, but the truck driver stayed right behind her. Then he turned his high beams on again. Once more, the car was ablaze with light. What is he doing? She wondered. What does he want? Then he turned them off again. But a minute later, he turned them back on again and left them on. At last, she pulled into her driveway, and the truck pulled in right behind her. She jumped from her car and ran into the house. Call the police, she screamed at her father. Out of the driveway, she could see the driver of the truck. He had a gun in his hand. When the police arrived, they started to arrest him, but he pointed at the girl's car. You don't want me, he said. You want him. You want him. Crouched behind the driver's seat, there was a man with a knife. As the driver of the truck explained it, the man slipped into the girl's car just before she left the school. He saw it happen, but there was no way that he could stop it. He thought about calling the police, but he was afraid to leave her, so he followed her car. Each time the man in the back seat reached up to overpower her, the driver of the truck turned on the high beams. Then the man dropped down Then the man dropped down, afraid that someone might be seeing him. All right, we're only going to do the one story tonight because it's too fucking late, but I hope that was an interesting story. For those of you that didn't and had never heard that story, it still gets me, just the thought of it, because, yeah, it's scary, but it's very, 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 very plausible, the thought of what could happen in real life. It's not a monster, as I've said before. It's not a vampire. It's not a zombie. It's not Frankenstein. It's not a werewolf. It's not a vampire at all. It's not a ghost. The thing you need to be afraid of are the living. You have very little to fear from the dead. And with that, I will conclude tonight's episode of Craziness at the Oman House with yours truly, David Oman. And with that, I will wish you all a very happy holidays and wishing you all... Sam, stop. Sam! Leave your sister alone. Yeah, she's faster than you, stupid. Oh, you got your claw caught trying to get your sister. I'm sorry to digress. I saw Samantha jump up on the ribbon chair that I'm usually sitting in, and I saw Domino jump, run, and then Sam's like, and she's like this, and she's like, I can't get you, you bitch, my claws. God. If you could only see that from my perspective, you would be cracking the hell up. It was almost kind of poetic justice that Samantha got her claw caught when she tried to make a beeline to get on her sister and beat her up. Of course, in play. But let me catch up with the last of these. Let me see. That was good. I'm glad you liked that peachy pie. Good night, Sarah. Merry Christmas to you too, and Happy New Year. Thank you, PJC, again. Thank you all for being a part of my craziness and enjoying my crazy entertainment that I bring to you on a crazy schedule, since I hate doing something where it's like, I'm going to be on Tuesday Night Live every week. Oh, God help me. When the spirit moves me, usually a couple of hours beforehand, it's like, all right, I'm going to do a show tonight. And I do it. So, again, from all of us here, as I'm looking around, both living and the not so much crowd, wishing you all a very happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy, what was that again? What? Come on back with that one, the last one. I don't remember the name of this gosh darn thing from the Seinfeld show. What? What was the name of that holiday that George Costanza's dad had? God, what's all right, guys? What's the name of the fictitious holiday that George Costanza? Festivus. Thank you. And I mean, I love Seinfeld, but I'm like drawing like, what's the name of that guy? Come on, get with me. Festivus. Yes, and a happy Merry Festivus to all of you, and a Happy New Year, and just thank you from all of us. We really can't say enough, and be safe. Don't do something that you will regret and will do something terrible to others on this holidays. Just be safe. All right, kids. Take care. I'll see you guys next year. Happy 2024 out, and welcome to Happy 2025 in. Thanks, Ren. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Jackie. Take care, Ren. Everybody else, see you soon.